If you want, man, y'all can get in the car and then we'll head out in a few minutes. And it on the if you don't mind doing me a favor, put this on the when you sit in the car, when you sit in the front seat, I got those little things that I put, right. Just put this on the magnet, thing. That's one of my phones.
You don't need nothing?
Say again?
Yeah. Landon, you ain't leave nothing in here?
No.
All right.
I mean, this
you get so much in van? Huh?
This part of the part of the.
He gave that to me.
Oh, you said Cuzzo?
Yeah.
My cousin.
Maybe he ran over across the pipe.
Yeah, right.
He ran in front so he can tell you.
Oh no, that's okay. Yeah, that's cool. Oh, good. I got a coffee cup. Oh, I'm so glad. Yep, you get another.
No, I told him for you to say this so you can tell him where y'all going.
Okay. Man, thank you guys. I appreciate you very much.
Yep.
I'm going through some serious struggles though. Like he said someone said like you could either if you could form a cult with the bad side, or you could like be like an apostle or whatever for God.
That's true.
People don't understand me. They misunderstand me. They do.
What is it?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, I'm falling apart, too.
But yeah, ask the Lord to give you power over that.
I'm not trying to like tell on Nate or anything like that either. I'm just saying what was going on, and I'm struggling right now. It has nothing to do with what he's been okay to me the whole time,
Yeah.
So I've only been wanting to be with you guys,
Yeah.
But I had to get.
You hungry, man?
No, thank you. I'm okay.
You want some water?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks, brother.
Water?
I'm good.
Well,
I'll get you some money
no,
when I can, man.
No, you don't worry about that.
Absolutely, I will.
Man, we are. Let me see. I gotta make sure that I move that over. Do I have it over? I forgot what because I didn't put. Yeah. One more second.
It's like I can see all these good things happening, and my life could change really really great, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have people in my life at all. My own family is like hates. They don't like. I feel like they just don't I don't know, man.
Yeah, when you have struggles like that, if they don't know how to help you,
Yeah, I need help, brother.
yeah,
Yeah,
if they don't know how to help you.
my dad's like like he thinks calling the cops is gonna help me, bro. It's gonna put me further in the hole, and it's gonna make me resent you, like not want nothing to ever do with you, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But he's my dad, and like, man, I'm fucked up, buddy.
Oh boy. All right. Now, I think I gotta get a new battery on this vehicle too.
Yeah, cause like, you know, some people. I don't act a certain type of way around women when I'm down there, cause I honestly don't ever care to like be. I don't give a shit about women, honestly, because they've hurt my family so much.
Yeah, man.
I don't know. I think just the whole thing changed. Like I felt it in the air or whatever down there, and I was like, all right, man, I'm gonna.
Oh, you talking about down at the bar or whatever?
Yeah. So I just told him I said.
Cause you know, now look, I have. If you just do me a favor, indulge me just for a second, just so that I can, because I have not in the 8 years, in the 20-something years that I've been going back and forth through here, I only was involved in the bar scene more as a, you know, somebody's having a party and walk in there. So the bar scene has not been mine. And so I'm really interested in like, I'm interested in a little bit of the dynamics. Like,
the socials, people there. You know, that's where the people are. I mean, that's where people hang out. And it's hard because in the cities, you know, people are active 24/7. You know, and you can talk to people all the time. But down here, it's like, if you want to go talk with some people, you know, get to know some people, they gotta go out. Like,
you talk about out of Toma, or just, or you gotta go to
the bar.
Right, go to the bar.
Yeah.
And so the bars, do they stay open till like 2 or 4 or?
2:30.
So then, so after you went to the fishing, I mean, did you catch anything? Which, you know,
the 4-inch bass.
So it's just in the car. It's just sitting in the van right now, just kind of like.
No, I ran through the bass.
Oh, so you're a sport fisher, not not to eat or whatever.
Right.
That's okay. That's not bad.
But the bass is only 4 inches.
Right, I got you. So which one in Toma is the best one? Because I used to hang out at Kelsey's because I was finna do comedy over there. Did we pass the one that you guys were at?
We're just at the bowling alley.
Oh, at the bowling alley up there. Okay, gotcha. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I don't drink, man, really much anymore. And I don't know. This Toma's part. I don't like it because of the harder drugs that are around here, man. You know, and it's
which harder drugs that are around here? There's no. Are you serious? Drugs out here in Toma and Sparta? I ain't think Toma and Sparta had it like that, man.
They got it. And it's like when you're, I don't know, I don't know, man. I just need to stop talking and shit. I just cut everybody out of my life because I don't want nothing to do with that life no more. But even though I cut everybody out, I'm still involved with that life apparently. You know, people see me, and I'm just waiting for someone to try to jump me. You know, stand up when someone has done something wrong to me or taken money or something from me, and then they're living in my dad's house, and then says he ain't gotta pay me nothing. So I fought him, and then it's bad for him, and now he's looking at me like he's gotta get back at me, and I can feel that in his body they got a lot of money.
You talking about your dad and one of his friends at the place, or
my old guy and his best friend.
Oh, okay.
They're from down south way, down Texas, Mexico. It's not that I'm afraid of them because I'm not. I'm just waiting for something to happen.
Right.
It sucks because I'm like, I see him mean mugging me or whatever, and I'm like, I'm right here. But I don't think they don't fight like that, man. They'll stab me or.
It's just basically it's an uncomfortable situation.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm back in Kansas City.
I get you, man.
I don't want to resort to having to be. I don't want to resort back to that kind of stuff. I'm ready to go. I'm ready, to do something. I want to do great things, man. But I'm in a transition point. Yes, of course, I feel good because I have God in my life and I feel that. You know what I mean? But I haven't been practicing Him in my life, so I'm not with Him.
See now, what does that mean? What does it mean? The whole idea of practicing Him in your life. I don't even know. What is that? Say it again.
Building that relationship with someone you don't know. I haven't talked to him in a long time, and it's how do I talk to him? Where do I start? You know what I mean? How I have an issue, but I don't necessarily go to him for it. I try to figure it out on my own. I don't pray for everything. You know what I mean?
But that's the thing. It doesn't seem like.
But I can hear it in you guys, in the way.
You said you can hear in us?
The Holy Spirit, and the voice of God. You know, I can feel like you have a relationship with Him. You know, I don't have that right now. I have it, but I'm not. My faith, I need more faith and strength.
Well, truth be told, when I think about it, I remember as vividly as I can what it was like to be 27, 28, 29, 30. And I'm 45, right? And the thing that's let me just to paint a quick picture. Your van, that Montero, I love that vehicle. I love it. I bought one of those for $650. Okay, and that joker drove for me for 2 years, and then when it broke down, it only needed a little bit of something to get it back running. Right. I was able to get it back for, okay. Now, so that vehicle, I love that vehicle.
Trying to buy that one?
No.
For sale.
Oh, okay. It's sitting next to that Montero. Is sitting next to a vehicle that also just needs a battery. Whatever the scenario that makes it so it needs a jump.
All right.
Now, so both of us are in the same boat in terms of the vehicle being down, right? Now, I don't know if God, me, or you, both of us in the same boat in terms of our vehicle being down. I don't know how. The idea of practicing the presence of God or practicing the relationship and I don't know if based on my experience, like I said, I'm 45, so I don't think I'm exactly twice your age. I'm not, but it's like, the years of all of my 30s, it paints a whole different perspective, because what may look like, wow, you guys got this and other, you know, really the only thing is, before now I was taking a nap, even, you know what I'm saying, because at least the vehicle is not, if my vehicle was in Sparta and I was broke down, and you know, we would be, it would be totally identical. And so I don't know if, you know, practicing the presence of God would solve it, you know, as much. But here's the point I'm trying to make, that I'm trying to make, is that like, okay, the way that I look at the whole Christianity, you know, dealing with people or whatever, is that when we first interacted, you've got a goal in terms of your, you know, trying to be, you know, in your son's life and stuff like that, and then you got a lot of interest or whatever, and so the circumstances aren't necessarily lined up too. So I think that between you and the idea of prayer and the idea of reading the Word and getting to know God, I look at it more like, okay, what am I gonna do with my life? Big picture. Now, from the big picture, you'll be able to figure out the little picture. You know what I'm saying? Okay, right. Because in this situation, I don't know how much of, Lord, I know you, Lord, I don't know how much of that is going to make the battery tangibly work. You know what I'm saying? In a scenario where, you know, for instance, let's say, from my viewpoint, just as a 45-year-old man who understands that, you know, at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, it starts getting dark. You know what I'm saying? Just from you know, just general knowledge or whatever. Yeah. It would be the words you said echo louder than the idea of voice of God relationship, when you said, yo, I feel like I'm stuck here. You know what I'm saying? Like it feel like you guys got me trapped here. You know, that echoes, because that feels more true, because it's like you're here. You wouldn't have came over here, you know, except that you met my you know, my cousin or whatever. So then it's like, okay, so then when you guys are playing pool, it's like you're sitting in a dire situation. And I say dire, meaning your life is not threatened. You were able to calm yourself by saying, okay, look, which is a mature thing to do. All right, I can't do anything about this battery, so let me do something that's going to bring me some peace for a few moments. And that's, you know, walk over there, go fishing. Yeah. Totally understandable. Yeah. But just like any, you know, maybe because I got my whole 30s behind me, and you got your whole 30s in front of you, eventually it's going to get dark. And the thing about it is, what could have happened is AutoZone lets you borrow tools, you know, the auto place, they let you borrow tools or whatever, but it's like, okay, let me get the battery out, let me walk the battery over to, you know,
check it.
Not to check it, but they'll recharge the battery. You know what I'm saying? Because if it's not taking the charge from my vehicle, you know what I'm saying, from my little putt, this one, if it's not taking that charge,
they wouldn't take the charge from his truck either.
Oh, from the other guy?
Yeah.
You told the other guy that I don't, Scotty or whatever?
No, the neighbor's kid or whatever with the white truck. They offered to help us.
Wow. Oh, and was that before or after my vehicle? You know, in other words, remember when we put the jumper cameras
way
on?
After.
It was after?
Way after.
So, to me,
because I had gone back, came back, and it turned into it. You know, so I felt something, and I was like, we just need to give it some juice. So it's like right on the brink of being there, but then it just dies quick.
Yeah, and it might have benefited from, when we put it on, it might have benefited from letting it sit on there for about maybe like 15, 20 minutes. You know what I'm saying? In other words, we might have took it off too quick. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, jiggle it a little bit so that, you know, it's like when I like to start up my that other van, I had to sit it on this chart on the connected and let it sit on there for about maybe like 15-20 minutes, and that's a lot of time.
Yeah.
So then I'll look at like a YouTube video, and like I'll do something, what I'm saying, I'll do something or read whatever to do something to calm myself while I'm waiting for the whatever. That Montoya, it was sitting down by Family Dollar for over a year because the dude who was gonna fix I told you it died on me for the second time. When it died on me the second time, I had to sit out there for about, I think I sat out there for like 6 hours because it, they lost the key. So I had to redo the key thing or whatever, and I got a locksmith to give me a new key. But I had to do the timing thing where you do something, do something, wait 30 minutes, do something, wait, and then and then it might kick off, and might not. And so I had to have it on the battery for like for like 2 hours, and then finally it took me about 4 or 5 hours that one time to finally get it started. Now, that wasn't a necessarily a Lord fix it and then boom it starts on. It was more of a over the span of time. It what I'm saying? Right, and so I guess the thing about and so
I see we're on the same page, but we're not on the same page.
No,
we weren't like
we are. No, that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that's why it's like we are. In other words,
the
man, the madness, the humanness in you is okay. I might be able to take a few minutes just to give yourself some peace. I'll go run and fish for a few minutes because that calms you down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That is a wonderful thing. I that's something that maybe at some point, like when we go meet with your grandfather, your grandfather, that maybe at some point we can talk about, maybe, teach me how to fish and because my daughter expressed an interest in doing that. And it's like, man, if I don't know how to do it, you know what I'm saying, and all of that. So anyway, now, but then it's like what you and my cousin, because the reason why you're there is obviously you were following his lead of whatever, I saw him, borrow a couple cigarettes from you or whatever, which means that that you guys had developed some level of a bond. But then, like you said, he's over there playing pool,
not caring about what I had to do, and that's what it got to me.
That and so I recognize, and that's what I wanted to at least make sure that you know that I look at it is that if we're looking at this as a divine connection, a blessing, and oh God, you guys got, you can look at it like that, and I don't want to take that away from you from that standpoint, but it would have been very magical. It would have been magical if, let's say, when y'all came back, he's like, look, let me figure out. We'll take instead of going to the bar. I don't even see how the bar gets in the picture, but let's try to solve this before the nightfall, because if you guys are on the road together, then y'all on the road together. Like with the divineness. Here's a small little blessing of a divineness that I like. So me and I call him Triomnius. What did y'all call each other? The guy in the back.
Honestly, a struggle. I was just about to
ask. Okay,
yeah.
So his name is William.
And I wanted to know, do we know each other? I think I know you. Like I felt you before somewhere in life. On everything I love. Oh man, it's crazy because I'm pretty sure that person was out in Kansas City.
Well, it's baby spirit thing,
just the power, and it's real, and it's cool, and I just see like people have their own their qualities in which hold them, you know, better to achieve what it is they're trying to achieve, and like they're like, but when you all come together, like, the peak powers, like I think you have you said you can separate the spiritual from the like time to be real about work or whatever it is to like get shit, you know, we got to get shit done or whatever.
Right, exactly, and because to me the thing about it is, okay, so as we were talking, and I realized that, okay, I'm going to Sparta, because before you came over, me and him were kind of trading emails, and he asked me if you were out here, and I was like, I didn't see him, I didn't realize that you were sitting in the van. So then when we did see each other, when I was working that whole thing out, I wasn't updated yet on. I wasn't updated on what happened when you went out to go. This is how I, as a 45-year-old man, looked at it. Or this is how I looked at it. Now, all right. Now, if I'm sitting on the phone, I'm aware that the battery is dead. It doesn't bother me that the vehicle stay overnight, a couple days. It doesn't even bother me at all. Now, so we tried with my vehicle, which means that my little level and our little level of intelligence and whatever and divineness. You got my cousin and his whatever, me and you and the other guy that works up at Hardee's. All of our whatever we are could not manage to bring this vehicle to life. Okay, now
that was the like most important thing for me to be like, cause I was after I was done fishing, I was only going fishing for like a little bit after my interview at 11. Yeah, and it's just like
right. So at least you were able to complete off of your to-do list, do the interview, go a little bit of fishing. You know what I'm saying?
I really needed someone in my life because I've been really alone.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I had closed everybody out of my life 1,000%. Right. And so I felt him coming, and we were just striking up, and I had them vibes with certain people.
When let me ask you a question, and this is gonna sound silly, but like I said, just indulge me for a second. How long within meeting each other? How long was it before you were pulled out a cigarette out of your pocket to give to him? How many minutes did it take from the time that you guys met to the time that you?
I'm not gonna answer that because I don't want you to use anything like that against him or like.
It's not using it against him. No, in other words, what I'm trying to figure out is was the connection based on can I get a cigarette, or was the connection based on wow, you did an interview, and because you know what I'm saying, because now we're here now. Yeah. That's my point. My point is right. That you know what I'm saying, because if the connection is whoa, we're gonna be friends, yeah. When in that time of when we were all four out there, yeah. As intelligent, as powerful as yeah. Whatever we are, lead the way now, just so you know. Yeah, sure. If we didn't get the vehicle started at that point, and I can't remember what time it was at that point. It might have been like 4 because I was supposed to talk.
We should have been like, what's next on the
next thing should have happened is that you three.
Me.
Well, no. You, yes, because obviously your vehicle. Yeah. But between you, my cousin Nathan, and Hardee's guy might have to go to work, but in essence, you three that were all working on this together as a band.
We weren't.
No, I know you weren't, but that's my point.
I was.
No, of course you were. Believe me, this is not a SmackDown. What I'm saying is that once that happened, I, as a 45-year-old man, when I saw you suit up to go swimming, and I saw him hop on his bike to go somewhere else, and the Hardee's dude get ready to go to work. When I saw all of that happen, that let me know, okay, everybody is going to figure it out. It's not a dire emergency. Because if it is, the next step is I'll talk to my girlfriend, I'll hang out with her, and we'll drive to Sparta. We'll put the battery back on and just sit up and down, talk on the phone while I put the battery. If you know what I'm saying, once
take a ride on your next one.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. So back to the beginning. Was it within 10 minutes of you guys meeting each other? Can I borrow a cigarette? Is this the term?
Yeah, this one. Yeah. No, it's actually. Can you just get me some weed?
And look, I figured that, but that's my point. It's like, okay, so that scenario, I want you to know, dominoes as it fell. 3 major things to me make our potential friendship be on point to me. Number 1, I met your grandfather a couple of years back, okay, and I was so enamored by your grandfather. I was so proud of him. I was inspired by him. Am I to the right?
Sure, yeah.
And right either before or shortly after I met your grandfather, I met somebody that said to me, hey, it's possible that you could be the mayor, of a town. And I never thought about that for my life. At the time I was either 39, 39, 40, maybe 41. So thinking about what am I going to do with my 40s was in my brain at the time, and he said, hey, I'm the mayor of Hustler, and then I interviewed for my show. I interviewed the former mayor of Toma, because she lives right across the street from me, and the current mayor of Toma. I got video out there. He did comedy on my on one of my comedy shows. You know what I'm saying? I interviewed the city administrator. So he always stayed in my mind, and so that's number 1. Number 2, I have a great anybody that drives a Montoya and of course, there's father stuff that we have potential. I'm really interested in figuring that part out, and you don't have to give it to me today or whatever, but I definitely, now that I know that phone number, if that leads to your dad, that phone number.
Take a right.
So,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you want for your father to meet me now, or you know what I'm saying,
no,
or if
he's going off on me.
Right. So work out your situation, man.
I'll bring that brief over when I come through Toma.
Okay.
It'll be Monday for sure. But
well, I mean, like I said, I'll be around. See, now so okay, you don't have a phone right now, but do you even have like some smart device to get onto Wi-Fi and stuff like that?
No.
So yes, I mean,
I mean, I could borrow it someone, but I mean, it's not really. I'm in a different thing, man. Really.
Yeah.
It's so wild, man. Because I'm not connected to what everybody else is right now.
Right, and there's nothing wrong with that.
The purpose. I think that he's trying to say, this is your time to. Oh, where are we? Oh fuck. Left.
Yep. You said that my cousin was trying to say that this is a time for what?
No, he was not him. I'm saying that for me.
Okay.
That like this is a time for me. Like Moses was out in the desert. And
True, but I'm gonna tell you, even though at that time Moses was out in the desert, Moses figured out how to get Wi-Fi in the desert. You know what I'm saying? And I think I'm being facetious, but I'm saying that he still managed to. I think he married some Egyptian woman, and so he managed to do some stuff and have some connections with some people. And the best thing that in terms of you and me, what I'm hoping that
when they kicked him off out of there, though, he's just out there and had to provide for himself. Like they just walked right out, into the desert, and that's it. And he was provided for. He made it, and he's out there scared, like you could tell, but like in that time, I don't know, I haven't eaten in a while. We're like
You talking about today? That's what I'm saying.
I did eat a little bit, but like in a way, it made me feel more like
oh, close. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Right.
Yeah.
The potential of what fasting is when you focus on not fulfilling your body and stuff like. Yeah, I got you saying. But I mean, if make a right.
No less.
But you know,
I'm gonna right down here, right?
Oh,
the
yeah.
block back there.
Yeah.
And I'm 1, 2 blocks up here.
Okay.
That's where the boys live. You know,
that you gotta kind of be nervous about.
I'm not nervous about them. They know.
Or that you gotta be at least, watching out.
They're waiting for me to be slipping up.
Right, I got you.
It's sketchy, man. This place is sketchy. It's bad. These cops will shoot you, man. These cops, they have wanted to shoot me for so long, and I headbutted an officer not too long ago.
Yeah.
And I was looking at the battery turn officer left, and then I got dropped because I was in handcuffs. Left here.
Left for him.
Yep. Because I was in handcuffs, and the how aggressive they are with me, and I'm just pleading my case to them, man. I'm innocent. I didn't do wrong.
Right,
My brother
right,
pushed
right.
me first, and I hit him in the stomach. He was the aggressor. You have to understand, just because he called in doesn't make him the one in the right.
Right.
In this truck right here.
All right.
And I know I'm running on fumes right now, but God bless you guys.
Yeah, man, we'll talk. We'll talk.
I'm not ratting on Nathan or nothing because
no, it's not ratting on him. I already understand the dynamics or whatever.
But
So,
it's me and him are still valid. We have potential to be great, you know.
Well,
But we do too, you know.
that's the plan. Hey, so we'll talk a little bit later, my man.
Thank you for the ride.
Oh, hey, grab my pen. I don't know if I don't want to lose my pen. Yeah.
Thank you, buddy.
Better than what you think, all right?
All right, thank
Do what I say. Just get close to God, get in your word and pray.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you. Will. Yeah. No, he was saying that's my rap name.
Yeah, that's a nickname. I call him Triomnius. Right. Will and Matt. Right. Exactly.
All right,
Yep.
man. Thanks, guys.
Well, so here's what I do. I guess I want to let you know my now that to a degree, and to a large degree, this is the first time in a while that I've had another person in my inner circle. Okay, that's what what I'm saying. That's what we function in, like inner circle, and we function in like what Eldridge and me defined as battle buddies. You ever heard the term battle buddies? There you go. So and I get cellmate, battle buddy. You know what I'm saying? All of these are
kind of sort of the same, but
I'd
rather be a battle buddy.
Of course, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Right, but what to me what it defines, it's definitive of the concept of a brother that sticks a friend sticking closer than a brother, or what is that scripture where it says?
You said it right.
Did I say it right? A friend
that's sticking closer than a brother, yeah.
And so
I thought you were trying to trap my knowledge as just like I know what
No, because here's the thing. Because I'm about to admit something to you. Now, when we first met 20-something odd years ago, God was developing with me some what I would call ministry protocols, meaning these are when you're in scenarios, any scenario you're in, there's a checklist for it. There's a scripture for it. Somebody makes you angry, all right, there's a checklist for it. So I pull out the 3, and if I can make my checklist 3 bullet points, like they say, who's in the 3 what's those sermons called? the common sermon that they talk about with the common sermon that they talk about with 3 points and a witty anecdote.
3 points in the poem.
Something, like
That's what T.J. said. 3 points in the poem.
the thing, it's a Dr. something, Dr. Scholl's, Dr. something, sermons. There's a specific dude who 60s, 70s or something like that really defined what sermons should be like or whatever. Now, so for me, here's my constant protocols, okay? Whenever, okay, I think I'm going, dang, I wish I had something that showed me which direction. Okay, fast as I can. I shouldn't have any gas in. Number one, whenever I'm in a scenario where there's potential for uncomfortableness or whatever, the number one thing I always do is I hit record. You know what I'm saying? Now, you and me was already recording, so it was, earlier, so it was already understood that at that time, right? Now,
You talking about earlier?
when we were sitting down, when I was in my underwear,
Yeah.
we was already recording. So when situations happen, this is how they happen to me, right? This is where the whole connecting the dots and all that. And also, I locked the door. I forget, but I locked the door at the house. I locked the door at the house because I have raised the threat level of my environment went up. With the red alert, what's the amber alert, and then or whatever. There's protocols when certain things happen. You got to raise the raise the threat level. So right now, my military and spiritual training kicked in, and obviously I saw yours. So this is what I always do. What we're doing right now, if you don't mind, and as I'm getting gas and driving back, we are doing what I would call an after action review. You know what I'm saying? An after action review is where we basically
debrief.
It's a debriefing.
Debriefing of the whole situation.
Right.
Break it down.
And what we're doing is we're developing the next time a scenario like this happens, we know how we flow. You see what I'm saying? What you did today, one thing I want you to know, that's the bomb. Now check this out. What I did today, one thing that is always my thing is making full proof of the ministry, right? So I got pictures of what happened today.
Well, I saw you with the camera. I thought you were doing footage.
I did. I got it.
I'm talking about like video.
I did. I got it. This, kind sir, I want you to know, this right here this is the legend. This right here is active, on point. When I saw this happening, listen, I can be upset about a circumstance happening and also, be in the you know what I'm saying? That's the way I've been flowing for over 20-something years. This was on point. Here, let me connect it to the. You want me to connect to the Wi-Fi so you can hear it? Yeah, let me connect to the Wi-Fi so you can hear it. Hold on. Yeah, hold on. Let me connect it to the Wi-Fi. This right here. No, connect to the Bluetooth. I'm sorry. This right here, kind sir, was this was here you go. This was powerful in my opinion. Maybe I need to do one thing. This was, in my opinion, scenarios like this. I take these, I put a little music at the beginning, kick, whatever. That right there, that is a video enough. Depending on the timing that we want to drop it, it will hit. So here you go. Now you can check it out. You can start it over, whatever. But your flow is amazing on this. Is the volume up?
How you started?
Oh.
I pray that you would refill him with the fire of the Holy Spirit. Heal this wound.
I don't know if you can start it over.
In his heart. Give him favor to the soul of his feet. I pray that you would draw him closer to you. I pray that you would refill him with the fire of the Holy Spirit. Heal this wound on his head and his heart. Give him favor in the court system to get either his son back or to have a relationship with his son. His presence in his son's life is irreplaceable by divine order and edict. It comes from you. So I pray that you would continue to give him the tenacity, the legal fight, and war in the spirit for him to pray for himself and pray for his son and pray for the situation and to invite you and include you in every single area of his life. Your word says in Proverbs 3, 5, and 6, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not to your own understanding. All your ways acknowledge me, and I will direct your path. Your word also says in Psalms that if he gives his situation to you, including his entire life, and commit his way to you, you will bring it to pass. You will guide him and direct him. I pray that you would do this and even more than what I can think right now, and to have your way in his life. I want to stay connected with him in some type of way. I don't know if it's Facebook or whatever, just to know what's going on with him, to support him, and to be here for him. I bless you and I thank you for his life. In the name of Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus Christ, I pray and I bless you. Amen. Thank you. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. The thing that
and all of it, I got the audio of it. You know what I'm saying? Very easily. Now, the thing that I'm in from the standpoint of my encouragement. As a human being, it is very, very easy. It's very easy to focus on the negative, point out what was wrong, point out what was jacked up, and it's very easy to do that. So I'm a person that I'm a person that understands. I feel I'm a person that understands how to look at circumstance. This is what I'm gonna say. Military set it up like this for me. Military set it up like this. That when things go bad for anything, music video, song, anything. When things go bad, everybody has a general idea of what might have went wrong. But the people who are putting the thing on or whatever, and we've already defined what we're doing. As we was talking last night and early today, this is the ministry. What's the product? The product, what we did today, that's a product. You see what I'm saying? So my cousin, the things that I'm bothered by about what happened, I'm never dissuaded about the God part, good part, or whatever. This is the way, that I'm trained, and this is how I apply it. Every situation I evaluate. What were 3 good points and what were 3 bad points? Meaning, the good points, what did we do well so that we can always do that? Number 1, I was recording. So when the situation happened, the whole situation, everything that happened, I have an audio record of it so that I can always look back. So now, because there's an audio record of it, now I can relax my motor skills of remembering who's doing what, watching this, you know what I'm saying? I can focus on another part because at least I got an audio record, you know what I'm saying? That's one. And then, added to that is a video record, a couple of pictures, stuff like that. So it's easy, you know what I'm saying? From whatever vantage point I have, I can contribute to what happened. And it's not his side of the story, her side of the story. No, when you talk to Matt, you're getting the facts. Spiritual, you're getting the facts because you can just listen to it. You ain't even, you know what I'm saying? You can be in the moment with us at the same time. There's no, whatever. So now, that's one thing that we all did well. Number 2, with you and me, in my first era, in my first era, it was about me figuring out the work, figuring out, how I'm gonna pray, whatever, at certain junctures or whatever. Now that we are middle-aged men, we're not novices to this stuff. We can always salvage a situation and bring the pure gold out of it. We can figure out, okay, am I the man sowing? Am I the man watering? Am I the one grabbing the increase? You see what I'm saying? I think I heard you, and I think I got a piece of the audio of that where you were like, this man said that when I laid his hand, he felt the presence of God. And then, you take that little moment along with some words that he said while we was driving, where he said, I can feel I practice the presence of God. I can feel you guys have the blah, blah, blah. Oh, by the way, we're passing the military post. I'm thinking, I don't have a military ID. You know what I'm saying? So there was a definite, I'm able to take moments out of all of this to show and reflect, yes, God moved in this scenario through the vessel, William T. Sherrod. You see what I'm saying? And that's my role, is to take everything that happened and then be able to put together something that makes full proof of William T. Sherrod's ministry. You see what I'm saying? So just the same way that I showed you the moments on mine for me, that's what I'm going to be able to do for you out of all of this stuff. And that, to me, is even more valuable than the words of the podcast stuff, because we can talk for hours and hours and hours, but this right here, that ain't nothing but, 5-minute, 4-minute video, depending on how we edit it. We can talk about that, you know what I'm saying, and make it like that, so it has the potency. And you don't have to drop the video until you're ready to hit it, but it can be on YouTube sitting there, and you know what I'm saying? Like, it makes it easy. Because the thing I was thinking about when I was when I was getting in the shower, or whatever, I was thinking about that. What we need to do is between now and October, really. But the sooner the better, the more the better. The idea that you said every day we're gonna work like a Hebrew slave, I know what we meant. So the point is that I want to make it so that every day there is some output that goes out from us wherever the dot lands. Meaning that whole email thing that he does, in theory, Tom Hartman is saying, before I start my show, these are all the things that I've read that went into the 3-hour broadcast that I did today. And he does 3 hours a day, like Rush Limbaugh did 3 hours a day. And to a degree, that is kind of my goal, actually. My goal is to a personal goal is to be able to record and broadcast to the level of 6 hours a day, 6 to 8 hours a day, and then make it so that all of that content in micro ways gets out every day, however it goes. So then we've got such a wealth of content that even when I'm on vacation, even if I take a year off of, I'm not doing this, that, and the other for a whole year, there's a daily output. You know what I'm saying? That hits, and these dots are out there for a sustained period of time. So that's one of the things. So what we did today, number one, we recorded. Number two, you're kicking in and praying and all that. I know you said to me, hey, Matt, why don't you, you know what I'm saying? But because I needed to capture that video so that I got it. You know what I'm saying? And what did you think of it? When you looked at it, I think you listened to it. How do you like your administration of the word prayer? You've done it before, so it's not a big deal. But to see it on a video, potentially to be edited, what does it feel like?
You gonna edit nothing?
No, I know I'm gonna edit it up, but I'm saying, what did it feel like? You know what I'm saying? Like I know what it felt like when I did those performances, and then I looked back at the performance before I was getting ready to put it online for everybody else to see. I know how I was feeling. You know what I'm saying? And you know how I feel when I'm. So to look at that, to me, this is just like as important as putting out a song. So what was your view of the day? What did, bullet points of good things that happened today? You know what I'm saying?
Well, the fact that when they came in, and he said, hey, the guy rapping, this, that, and the other, and he was like, he's here, want me to bring him in? And when he came in, and then, I could see that he was, I could just see something. I didn't know what the something was.
You talking about the dude or Nathan?
I'm talking about
Landon, yeah.
Yeah, I could see something, but I didn't know what it was at first. And it was him, being around new people, new environment. Excuse me, he's a street guy. And it was unfamiliar, but he was trying to be, calm and cool and open. So when he started sharing about his life, about what he was going through, I'm just learning. I listen to people so I can learn and know what's going on. So I don't know what happened for me to say, hey Matt, ask the Lord for a word. I don't know what he said.
Right.
For that, and then he was like, I want to, something. So I was like, oh yeah, I'll pray for him.
Mm-hmm.
So, I enjoy helping people any way I can.
Yeah, which is a blessing. which is definitely a blessing. And when you sent the email that said, he asked us for our help, I don't, even though I said what I said, and I think, as evidenced by, the end result of us dropping them off to Sparta. Your timing, by the way, that's another, that I'm this is part of the bullet points of good things that happen. Your timing of showing up was more than on point. It was more than on point. I think I caught that in a moment between you and him, as you were standing there looking at him, you were able to somehow get him to say, or he said it, that he's drug jonesing a little bit, or whatever. He didn't say drug jonesing, but that he was.
What you're saying is the equivalent of.
Is the equivalent of what he was saying. He did, and me sitting there with him, I didn't see that little stake, that railroad, whatever in his hand and whatever, and I wasn't necessarily worried for my life, but here I am theoretically vulnerable, you know what I'm saying? Vulnerable at my place, and the rest of the context that I put on the negative side.
Is that the military base?
Yes, all this is a military base.
You were over here before?
Man, I've been coming up to, ever since before you and me know each other. I've been coming up to Fort McCoy.
Is your station?
I've been stationed up here on and off multiple times throughout past 20
even if
years.
you're not stationed, you just use your military ID and just get access to it?
Oh yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Dude, you have no idea how much I'm about to hook you up in terms of, we're gonna go on this military. Man, they got uneven bars, man. We're gonna go here in the daytime, man. I can go into any military base on the whole. Man, I'm about to show you, man. You know what I'm saying? What we about to do? But basically, yeah, man. When we ready to do the working out or whatever, I'm gonna make sure that we come up here. We can go into the gym and use all the facilities there. We're able to. There's a whole bunch of little spots on post. Jog around the post. This is home. When I was homeless, I came here. You see what I'm saying? And I, just like you be at the library, man, I found military. Man, I slept by the, you sleep by the gym, use my military ID card, get my shower. You know what I'm saying? Man, please, man, shoot, man, I'm talking, man, please. So it's nice to be getting back into working out. Or, the fitness, the spiritual, mental, lyrical, emotional fitness. What I perceive that we're building in the L&L podcast, the Will and Matt ministry, and all of the, whatever branding pieces of it, the Battle Buddy ministry that you and me got, that was an output, a demonstration of our ministry, and that happened within 3 weeks of us being together. And even though this is resulting in Cuzzo's termination of his time here, meaning that it pretty much ends tonight, it does. A lot of good comes of it. And as you can see, one of the other bullet points that happened good, as you saw, I'm taking notes on the paralegal side. You see what I'm saying? And so from the way that you and I on some things will flow is, even though I'm capable of being super spiritual and praying and helping to foster moments like that, even though I'm rehearsed in how to do that, my best scenario is the taking notes, making sure I got a video. You know what I'm saying? My is to capture the moment. If I don't capture, if I'm in the moment, I need to also try to make sure that if I gotta be in the moment, I gotta be capturing the moment. And if I'm in the moment and I can't capture the moment, the people that are in the moment, they gotta know, yo, some of us got to be outside of the moment and capture the moment so that the moment is captured. Like that is very important to me. This is on the bad side, one of the things that Cuzzo failed on. Let's say, like you said, strength in numbers. All of this is born out of my cousin asking random people for, can we find some weed? Can we find some weed? Can we find some weed? Now, I don't mind making positive, moments that are like gold stars, notches on our belt, notches on our headboard of positive. I don't mind doing that to create whatever, because of whatever he brings into the house or whatever. But I've already done that with him for 9 months or more, and what should have happened is that whenever whatever car trouble that they had, Cuzzo should have stuck with him until he got all that stuff squared away. Cuzzo is at the bar right now, playing pool and doing whatever. You see what I'm saying?
Why he said he left? Why did Landon say they left?
Landon and Cuzzo, because Landon and Cuzzo, they went to go fishing, then they went to the bar and was playing pool, and basically Nathan Cuzzo was not interested in trying to solve Landon's problem of getting back to Sparta. It's a long walk. I've walked this walk before. You see what I'm saying? Not on this road, but on a different road. I've done this walk. There's no bus. This is not the city. So for my cousin to be, for them, and what Landon told me this before he showed up, he said that Nathan and him, they were having bad vibes. In other words, he was getting frustrated with Nathan, basically. Because it's like, dude, this is a quote from Landon. You guys got me trapped here. And I'm not saying that that's that's not the fullness of his meaning of that, because of course I didn't have him trapped there, you didn't have him trapped there, but Cuzzo trapped him in this situation. His cars broke down, and instead of helping him try to solve that problem, he's going out playing pool and trying to find weed or doing whatever. You see what I'm saying? So Cuzzo, if you're on the team, so to speak, trying to fit in, trying to make stuff happen with your ridiculous dumb self, then follow through to the end. Show Landon you got the moving of the Spirit of God and touch the battery and heal the battery. You see what I'm saying? If it's gonna be like that, you know what I'm saying? If you're gonna try to associate yourself to all that stuff, then follow through. Basically, you over here, you bring a problem to the house and then you leave like that's supposed to happen. No, this was not supposed to happen. This happened because you were looking for marijuana. That's why all this happened. And you're not man enough, grown up adult enough to know what to do in problem situations. Cuzzo should have been the one when I'm sitting there talking on the phone with my girlfriend, and I told her, I said, baby, I'm so upset about what just transpired. And my girlfriend trying to egg me on because she's pissed off. She's trying to egg me on to talk about it. I said, wait a minute, let me wait till Cuzzo leave, because Cuzzo ear hustling trying to hear how I'm about to talk about it, because he know he's wrong. So right now, when we left, I locked the door. And so I don't want to rush back to the house, even though we're going back to Toma. I don't feel like rushing back to the house, even though I got some stuff to do, because what I need to do is I need to plan the next 5 chess moves of having them gone. This is not a scenario where I'm going to call my dad, make a big spectacle of it, but it ends tonight, and it is tonight, and so that's one thing that I got to do is like when you and me were together one time, and I had the door locked, and he was like, "Hey, you didn't tell me you were gonna lock the door," or whatever. He's at the end, and I have to thoroughly establish it so that whatever's gonna happen. Because the goal that I brought up to him this morning was I put a note on the mirror when he woke up, because I thought I was gonna be asleep, that, hey, can you do something about the organ? Because I'm gonna go ahead and reconfigure the kitchen and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And so he was like, so instead of working on that today, you know what I'm saying? Instead of working on that today to solve that organ situation, so I'm grateful to God, because God knows for me that I will do whatever's necessary, but I'm not going to be phony about the pretenses anymore. You know what I'm saying? In my 20s, I let phony pretenses stand in the midst of stupid stuff that was going on. You know what I'm saying? But now I can't allow phony pretenses to stand around me if I can knock them down, because I have the authority to knock it down, because it's in my sphere of influence and I'm supposed to knock it down. You know what I'm saying? So I believe that Cuzzo. Let me ask you a question. What did you think about the moment when he was sitting down next to you chewing on chips while we on the microphone yesterday? What did that hit you?
Like if I heard him crunching,
yeah,
then I didn't hear him crunching.
No, and that's okay. I mean, obviously, because your headphones were lower than mine.
He's there, so it's like he knows it.
Yeah.
As long as he's not like interrupting or nothing like that, like you guys
right,
chiming in, injecting inappropriately. But had I heard the chips,
yeah,
I would have been like, I would have told him like, you know what I'm saying, I can hear that, you know what I'm saying? That would have irritated me. But I didn't hear it, but you did, so he just moved around. Did you get my messages about on Messenger and your phone about him?
Oh no! I didn't. Wait, I didn't. Only thing I told you to go back to what he. Oh, for real? No, I didn't know. Go ahead. You want me to just look at it later, or you want to?
No, that's what I said. I said I had a God thought. I said if I was you, I wouldn't ask him to leave or put him out.
Say it again.
I said if I was you, I wouldn't ask him to leave or put him out, because I had a God thought about it.
Okay, go ahead. I'm listening.
No, that's what it was. That's you and him is you and him. And
no,
I
got you.
pray,
no, but I'm
ask the Lord.
No, the thing about it is I have I have no problem. I have no problem changing whatever I was going to do based on whatever. You know what I'm saying?
No, what I'm saying is you and God.
Yeah, of course.
I said if I was in your scenario, even the history of it.
Yeah.
If I was you, and I'm watching and seeing what's going on, I wouldn't do it.
You wouldn't let him leave.
I wouldn't let him leave. I wouldn't put him out unless the Lord, told you to. Then yeah. Other than that, no.
To a degree, and this may sound, it might even sound blasphemous. my relationship with the Lord in terms of
decision making.
My father, my natural father,
Roscoe.
Without the S. My natural father.
Is his last name Walker?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Mr. Walker.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that.
Okay. The way God, I think we talked about it. Remember I told you that
You trying to pick something apart with spiritual people?
No. I told you that when we were talking last night, I was saying that I'm gonna just find somewhere to pull over. Remember I told you last night, God gave me a suggestion. He gave me a suggestion. Hey man, you know, this is the way. I forgot what it was. I can't remember what it was because it was a scenario where you asked me, said God told you, and I said no, it wasn't. Thus saith me, you need to do. It was like you and me sitting on the couch. Me and God was just hanging out, and he said, "Yo, if you know, you should do boom, 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 boom." And I was like, "All right." And I get to choose my relationship with the
smoking weed.
That's sort of in that. Yeah, it's
which one was you talking about?
I can't remember off the top of my head, but I will. I will give another example. I'll give another example a little bit later. So anyway, the way I will describe my relationship with the Lord, which by this point in my life, by this point in anybody's life, when they're in their 40s.
This Toma?
Yeah, this Toma.
This
is the north side of town.
Okay, north side.
Yeah. So if you want, man, I don't know if you want to sit in the car or sit over there, but I just kind of want to, like, you know, stop for a minute and sort of like, you know, podcast, you know, capture, because you know what I'm saying.
It's not chilly to you?
It's chilly to you.
No, I'm asking you.
No, it's
forget
it. Is it chilly to you right now?
Hey, you from Chicago for real?
You're so ridiculous.
You a bear for real. You a bear for real.
I need to get you a coat. Hold on, let me see if I got.
No, you just roll the window up.
Okay, all right, roll the window up. All right, cool.
Freaking bear. You're supposed to be a pecker.
No,
a cheesehead. You're supposed to be a cheesehead.
So my relationship with the Lord in my 20s.
When you first got saved?
When I first got saved, 19 years old.
Okay.
I want to say that I was 40 or almost 40 when I first got this idea in my head. And it
so that's 2016.
Yeah, when I first got this idea in my head, and that is, Matt, you got married to Valerie when you were 7 years old.
Excuse me.
So he's spiritually speaking.
Right.
So in other words, when Nicodemus asked, he said, how can a man be born again? You know, blah, blah, blah. And so then, of course, we got the whole idea of born again. So I got saved when I was 19. So I was celibate from 19 to 25, going on 26. And then I went from about, 25, 26 to about right before I got married. And I think I was 28 or 29 when I got married, to having, a few and interaction sexually, whatever, which, when I look back on it, it could have been a whole lot worse. It could have been a whole lot more, or it could have been a lot less. But it definitely, the good part for me is I never contracted any STDs or nothing like that. And not that that's a sign of God's blessing, but that lets me know that God was protecting me. You know what I'm saying? In the scenario. And for me to learn from it and have testimony. Then get married. And the timing of my marriage, I was spiritually 7 going on 8 years old. the time period when my parents got divorced, I was 7, 8 years old. Naturally, yeah. I was 7, 8 years old, yeah. So then, the time period where in 2018, the cops had beat me up in July. I'm licking my wounds of it in August, and I got a vision that I'm gonna have more children.
Outside of Nate and Naomi?
Right. I was ready for them to be the only ones.
Okay.
And I had, between 2016, 17, and 18, I decided, because I don't blame God for my decision. That's why if God commands me and I'm obedient to the command, then when things go wrong, then I can blame him. The way my relationship with God, the way that I work it, I'm not taking no commands from nobody that's not going to take responsibility entirely for it, and not just take responsibility for it idealistically. I need to see the not just the spiritual proof, which is the faith part of it, but I also have to have the actual fruit of that. And of course, over the course of my 20-something years of being actively what people would call a Christian or whatever, actively participating in the religion of what I'm doing, I have to trust the way that I flow, and I gotta trust because if I trust other people's flow, I've already trusted other people's flow. So I end up seeing, I think I told you that. I used to go to church and I would hear as soon as he opened his mouth, I would hear the whole sermon. When you are connected with the Lord, you're going to have insight beyond insight. That doesn't mean you got to say everything, and it doesn't mean you got to prove it everything. It just means you're aware of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm aware of it. And so thank you, Lord. So in my 20s, God is a Father that loves me, Holy Spirit, or whatever, Jesus access point, whatever, all that doctrinal stuff. So I'm married at 7 years old. My son, we had that moment when he was 7 where he said, I want to go to church. And we passed the church. I forgot to point it out, but we passed the church that I took him to where we had that moment. That's when God told me, he was 7 years old. He said, Matt, I'm taking over with your son. Meaning that it's the whatever the doctrine of co-laboring with the Lord means, co-laboring means we're working together. When you grow up in rank in the military for after 12 years in the military, I was in a position from the 12th year to the 25th year, I was in a position where don't nobody in the military order me around in the way that orders are stereotypically told. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Matt, can you hand me that? Whatever. That's an order. But they didn't say it like an order. Just because you got the authority don't mean you, but I don't live in drill sergeant world anymore. I lived in that world when I was 17, before I was in Christ. So even God as the creator of the universe, if my training in my relationship with the Lord, if it means anything to me, I need to respect my training like the centurion dude. He didn't say, you need to come with me. He said, just say the word and it'll be so. And, and then it was. There doesn't need to be from God a specific directions unless there needs to be specific directions. It's called, you got general objectives. The Great Commission, you know what I'm saying? When you put that paragraph of the Great Commission and bullet point that out, you don't have to have specific directions like he gave Noah with the ark about the pit. You ain't got to do all that. If you generally know what you need to do, just effing do it, basically. Now, my point is that if God is going to start ordering me around based on anybody's, based on the way that you function with the Lord, the way that Nathan functions with the Lord, the way that my father, my girlfriend, whoever, if God has entered into a time period where Matthew, I'm breaking you down and I'm taking you back to, if that's what he's doing with me, I have to volunteer for that. And I haven't volunteered for that type of activity. I haven't volunteered for God to be talking to me, talking down to me. Not that I'm above anything, but the way that God approached me over the way that God kept me in this relationship with him, okay, is not by force. It's by his loving kindness, by his insight. When I sit down, you know how you walk into McDonald's and you see about 5 or 6 old guys early in the morning drinking their coffee?
A little clip.
That, to me, is the way me and God are. It's me and him, this old dude over there. Me and God are not arguing with each other. We're laughing at circumstances. Me and my father, we're not arguing with each other. We're spending hours upon hours upon hours interacting, laughing, doing what we do. Triomnius, you and me did 7 hours of recording yesterday.
You said 9.
Did I say no? I didn't say 9.
Yes, you did.
It was 4 hours and then 3 hours.
You said 9 to me. I don't know. I was just there.
I know you was. That's my point. My point is that we captured so much. We captured so much that. Sorry, I just gotta open up a little. That right. You know what I'm saying? That to me, because I haven't. I woke up and I'm in this situation now. I woke up and drank this coffee.
I woke up like this.
Right.
shout out to Beyonce. Hey, babe, what up, babe? You already said. Yeah. I woke up like this.
Shoot, I ain't even brushed my teeth, man. What the heck? You know what I'm saying? Got a dude tweaking, sitting outside my place because of Nathan. And Nathan sitting over there at the pool hall, whatever. Anyway. This is not, so go ahead let me finish what I'm saying. God does not order me around. And it would be unwise from God's perspective to order me around, not because I'm so smart or whatever, but when a relationship with somebody is based on some hostility, then resentment gets to grow. And I've been able to live in this relationship with the Lord from age 19, when I actively pursued him. And I have to also acknowledge that the previous 19 years, even down to the way that I was named Matthew, and you know, the history of my birth and all of that, I have to recognize God's ordination of me, and his love of me, and his, you know, before I knew you in the womb stuff, all that even before I was actively pursuing him, he also set things up. I can, you know, me and him are you know, in my head, in my prayer time, in my whatever, we're always connecting dots and exploring different moments through the 45 years is a long time on, you know, on earth. And a 25, 26 year old active relationship with the Lord, if we're going to make it to 30 years, the Lord can't start ordering me around with a life. If God's gonna start ordering me around, then I need to be a robot. If you're gonna start ordering me around, you've already got all my bills paid, all my stuff, all my food. I shouldn't have to think that much. And so I don't, the way that I look at least my personal ministry into the world, and believe me, I understand that not everybody's going to function like this, but this is at least, you know, for so that you understand, because the way that you and me are functioning like friends, like brothers in Christ, like ministers, partners in ministry, that to me is the way God makes me feel our life is together. He doesn't make me feel like I am your, he doesn't make me feel like you better do what I'm saying. Now, I'm not saying that there's not moments that I've had where there is a rub. I'm not saying that I haven't had those moments, because I think everybody's had those moments, because he is still as a father. But my point is that I can't live a life where I can't live a fulfilled life if I can't make my own choices, good, bad, or indifferent. You know, a person cannot say that they've lived a fulfilled life if they are only being obedient to a voice in their head, or, you know, God's voice. You're gonna have a fulfilled life as you interact with the voice of the, I'm not saying that you won't, but I'm saying that Matthew Walker, a fulfilled life is, the way God put it to me, is he's not to blame for bad stuff. I'm not gonna be mad at him, because if God wants me to keep my cousin here, this is how I put it. Let's say God is saying, look, I want you to keep your cousin there. Then what's gonna happen is my landlord is gonna call me and say, hey Matt, your lease gives you the ability to have as many people in there as possible. And then people can put their mailing address there. Dad, go ahead and mail Cuzzo's mail and change them. That happening is definitive, where God don't even need to say to me, that's how powerful that move would be. He don't even need to say to me, hey, go ahead, keep Nathan there. Nathan being at my place has been me demonstrating patience and allowing stupid stuff to be part of the mix of whatever I'm doing. And I have always allowed people's stupid stuff to be whatever. So if God wants and directs for Nathan to stay, then number one, that doesn't necessarily mean he got to stay in my place. Him staying, I don't own Toma. You know what I'm saying? If he has another place to stay, me and him can interact and come over, get some coffee, come over, hang out, do whatever. But the Nathan circumstances, I've tolerated it for a long time, and that was my decision. I'm the one who, at certain junctures, I'm the one that at certain junctures chose to sit and stew with my anger rather than confront and argue. I'm the one that chose that. I'm the one that allowed and gave him the proverbial license to be an annoyance to me. So and if God wants to give me insight through you, then that's another thing that he's going to sit back and just allow me to receive the insight and see how it works out. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to say that I take, or I've lived ever since I was 32 years old. I've lived in a scenario where from the military side of the house, my leaders, they don't have to raise their voice to me to get me to do what they need. We talk at the beginning of the year about what the objectives for the year are. We check in periodically. And usually, whatever the year's objectives are, I'm diligently focused on getting those done. By the time the year ends, those things have been accomplished within the first, second, third quarter, or we have diligently rejiggered what the objectives are. You know what I'm saying? So that what we're doing is in the battle plan. In other words, if God wants Nathan to be around and all of this stuff, then God is going to have to, then if God wants Nathan to stay, then during the months of June, July, there are things that God would have had to do to make it evident to me. And because I don't function off of, remember my question to him? I said, within the first 5 minutes of you and Nathan meeting, what was the premise of you guys meeting? Oh, he was asking me for some weed. Now, everything that...
You from Landon?
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly. No, that's how they met. They met. Now, it goes from him asking for weed and them entertaining that conversation to all of these dominoes. If this is what my life is supposed to be about, I will accept it, but there's a lot of things that's going to have to be rejiggered in order to make that work. In other words, here's how I would accept that and wouldn't be mad. Number one, Cuzzo got his own place. That's you know what I'm saying? That's off the bat. He doesn't bring people to my place and then feel like what he's doing is the right thing. Number two, if the dude's car is down, you're not at the bar doing other stuff. You know what I'm saying? You're involved and you're getting that stuff together. You see what I'm saying? Number three, Cuzzo, you are a part of you're only pulling, you're not helping. You know, you're not doing anything to, just because you bring somebody over to create a stupid moment that, you know, of Will praying, that does not reach to the level of making good content. You see what I'm saying? That's not what we're trying to do. So from your vantage point, the guy thought, I am extremely willing to hear the long version of why, you know, from your vantage point, why it would be a good move to let him stay and stuff like that. I'm extremely willing, you know, to hear.
Like, I have the ability to, like, look past people's sins, their shortcomings in their flesh, to see God in them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when I say anything to you about,
yeah, I know, it's not.
Hey,
yeah.
Look.
Yeah.
Anything about the historicity of No, seriously though.
Yeah.
About my history being there for the 3 weeks, right?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying because you were there.
Mm-hmm.
So when I first came and he came up and he shook my hand, you know, at first I was like, who is this? Then I was like, oh, he said you got a cousin here. Because, you know, I was focused on you, so I was, so, okay. Shook his hand, that was it. That wasn't it. I wasn't like Ikobo Shata, God, who is this? And no, I just shook his hand. It was just that was it. I'm a watch his movement so I can know who I'm in the house with. Yeah, but it wasn't no suspicion and like that. So get it on. We talked for till 6 in the morning. I was like focusing with you, chopping it up, and ping ponging ideas. And listening for him, because I was like, I don't want to be too loud.
I think I believe I did. I might have the audio of that time period when we was talking.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I might have.
It don't matter.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I might have because that's what I, you know, when I see those moments.
Well, you good, because I didn't even see you pulling it out.
No, because I mean, that's why, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, that's why, you know, for me, it's important. I can't afford to not record because the people that God put in my life, good, bad, indifferent, or whatever, all these situations, I'm listening and hearing what God is doing. Mm-hmm. And so when you talking at that time period and then all the other stuff, that man, continue what you're saying. But my point is, I might have the audio of that.
It
stuff like that.
It was some, because you threw out some stuff. And I didn't know you was going to say what you said. I didn't know you was going to ask the questions, but I knew I had answers. Yeah. But I didn't know that you was going to ask what you asked. So, like, being considerate of him or whatever. And then the next day, or that later that day, he said, oh, I heard this, that. And I didn't know because he was snoring.
Right.
I didn't know he heard nothing. And that was my point of being considerate, because I'm like, yeah, we get excited, but I'm like, it's real late and he trying to sleep, you know, just being considerate. So when he said God is up to something about what he heard from me and you, and me not even knowing that he heard anything because he was snoring. Right. He said he wanted to get up. I didn't hear him not snore, indicating that he was asleep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right? So when he said God is up to something, I was like, hey, can you come over here so we can? And then that's when that conversation came about. And it only came about because he said out of his mouth, God is up to something. If he had not said, he was listening and this, that, and the other, and said, God is up to something. If he would have said that part, God is up to something, I probably would have wouldn't have paid attention to it. But since he said that, I was like, okay, what is this? So then, and only then, was my attention turned to him in a spiritual light.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's your cousin, that's your cousin.
Yeah.
Common knowledge, that's your cousin, family member. Okay. It was nothing else outside that. That was for, I don't know how many days it was before we had that conversation. I don't know. But when he said that, and that's how God works in me, certain things turn my attention to a person in a spiritual light. So when he said that, I was like, okay, what is this? And then when he read that scripture from Song of Solomon, I was like, wow, that I see why he would, hearing what I said to you, certain parts of it, I was like, that scripture does. I was like, man, you listen to that scripture? Mm-hmm. Irregardless of his flesh.
Right.
And I told you about his
I got you. Yeah.
Irregardless of that, I know how to look past it, even though, I don't play certain stuff I just don't do. Disrespect and abrasiveness, and I don't do stuff like that. I'm not like that. And I don't appreciate it. If I don't give it to you, don't give it to me. Mm-hmm. But I still know how to look past it. So, from that stuff he says, and what he's doing, and just how he's out and about, irregardless of it, and I told you about his flesh, that's how it's hard for people to look past that. Some people can't do that. Like the situation with him with Landon tonight, that was his flesh.
Right, and the thing about it is, him being here for all this time was me doing the same thing. I have looked past his flesh. That's how he got to 10 months here. You see what I'm saying? I mean, but this the way that this came to me from the standpoint of the assignment, the Cuzzo living with me assignment. These are the 3 bullet points of my assignment with my cousin. Number 1, that he would see me working on God's will for my life as a person that is 10 years older than him. And number 2, that I would observe and assess him doing what he perceives is the will of God for his life. And then the 3rd bullet point is be family, be friends, be myself, be human, be, whatever. You see what I'm saying? So the instructions that I got from God about what I'm doing is, number 1, demonstrative of just me doing what I'm doing. Number 2, being observant, watching, and being honest with somebody. In the military, when somebody is assigned to you, okay? Mm-hmm. If I'm the supervisor, if I'm your supervisor or whatever, and I don't consider myself his supervisor, I just consider myself, his cousin and, but the way discipleship, whoever your accountability buddy, whatever all that, when you're with somebody, you're there as a resource to them, and you're there to also observe and point out and discuss or whatever. My cousin, everything that he has to say about what he's doing and all that other stuff, when I was in my 20s and 30s, I had the same rhetoric about certain things. You know what I'm saying? I mean, obviously it wasn't exactly the same from the standpoint of, where weed is involved or whatever. But I was just like that in a lot of ways. So I'm not saying that I don't identify with that and the good of it. The 10 months of being with me has not been about all of that stuff, because that stuff is going to exist whether he's with me or not. Here's what is not going to exist without me involved. That is my effect on him. That's not going to exist. If I'm not around, there is no Matt effect on him. So God, I can go ahead and be like, okay, Lord, you set up these circumstances that I'm whatever, right? But the ongoing relationship doesn't have to mean we're living in, you're sleeping, you've been sleeping on my, you're in your 30s. You see what I'm saying? I mean, you and me being in our 40s and we're working on what we're working on. This is called a this is like, we're in a boot camp scenario. We've created basically a boot camp, not a boot camp, but we've created a workshop / boot camp. We're going to be doing this for the next 4 months. We're going to be doing it for the next 5 months. For the next 6 months, we're going to be doing boom, 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 boom. And then we're doing it. At the end of that, we're going to see a payoff. With my cousin, that's not what it is. When he came, he talked just enough good game to make me tolerate his whatever and lower my expectations. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. My expectations of what we're going to do, it's so small that there is no utility for him being there. You see what I'm saying? It's no utility. So that's what I'm wondering. Talk to me. Why should he stay? And I'm not asking you to advocate for him.
Oh, no.
What's the God thought?
This is the God thought that I had with him, based on what he says that he does in the community. One, but really before that one, the top one is what he says out of his mouth about God.
Okay.
Like, irregardless of his flesh, God is at work in him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I understand.
He's at work in him, and he's doing it's certain stuff. I'm not gonna say that's your decision, and it's your decision.
No, I got you. Yeah.
That I know.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not gonna say, like I told you on the messenger. I'm just giving you. If it was me, even with the history, if I saw what I saw, I would know God is moving. Like, when he say stuff, it's like it's so much, and it's not no scam. It's not no, unless it was what do you call that spirit? I always say it.
You said just not Jezebel, but
no, he had none of that goofy stuff. Witchcraft. Unless he had a witchcraft spirit where he's manipulating and stuff like that. But it's like, I would know. The Spirit of God would be like, It's like so specific. I don't even know if you know this. He got the tiger cover, right? I got a tiger cover.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that. I saw his tiger cover. He was laying on. I was like, where did he get that? Yeah. He didn't even know I had a tiger cover. He was just like, he looked at me. He was like, I was like, man, listen, I don't know. But what he is doing, irregardless of his flesh, and I know that that's an issue and all that stuff.
It's not. It's actually not. That's what I'm saying. I can tolerate. Listen, I can tolerate that. In the military, there's
when I say flesh, I'm talking about all that he's doing.
Right. I'm saying I can tolerate all that. I can. I have. I've demonstrated that I can tolerate and that I have. It's my choice from the standpoint of my point is that if this is the thing, if battle buddy between you and me, if what we're doing together, if it's giving value, if there's valuable output of what we're doing,
and it is,
then I can deal with whatever comes along with that.
any negative, whatever.
It's what the
scales.
It doesn't. I can deal with anything.
Mm-hmm.
What have I been? I dealt with it today. You saw. I'm in my underwear. As frustrating as that was, I can, risk. I could deal with Cuzzo living with me for 5 years, for the next 5 years. But the thing about it is that he has lowered the output possibilities, like the cables that we were doing. Remember how the output is real low, and I'm like, I think I fit out all that time that we were going back through the mic and changing the mic cable till we figured it out the other day. Now, you see, I'm willing to suffer long with a cable that's not giving a lot of good output. I will suffer. Fig tree, okay? Fig tree. With the fig tree, at some point, all of the talk that you see and whatever else, the problem is that I'm the one that is supposed to inspect the fruit. In the configuration that we're in, part of the 3 bullet points that God gave me when I was entering into this thing, this is before he even touched down. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I got the points, but then, me and God, we didn't talk about all the specifics, because sometimes, I'm
He'll reveal it as you go forward.
Right. Listen, God, you ain't even got to, you know what I'm saying? It's, look, I show up, I open the door to the thing, and whatever happens is in the job response. I make sure that I follow the book of, you know what I'm saying? I don't spit and put my penis in the coffee, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm not going over, you know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna make sure that my payday, I know that, you know what I'm saying? I know the protocol, so I don't even, whatever. But God showed me very early, I saw these situations that I'm living in, I saw them back in November and December of last year. You see what I'm saying? So my point is that the fruit, when I go to pick the fig tree of my cousin, there was a fig tree planted, and when I go to pick for the figs, the fig tree cannot argue with me and tell me this is what my fruit's supposed to be. It can't. You see what I'm saying? I'm the inspector of the fruit. By March, bullet point 1, when my father was giving him money, and he took the money and used it to go do whatever he did, that's a violation. If God puts resources in your hands to do something productive, do the productive thing, and then you will be able to have money left over to do the other stuff. You see what I'm saying? That right there. You're not gonna be able to even go to step 2 if you can't even get your driver's license when somebody gives you over $500-$600 and you squander it all through the, you know what I'm saying? From November to December, or whatever, before New Year's, my father put at least $1,000-$1,200 in his coffers for whatever, and a little bit to me, for his care, and he squandered it. That right there is enough to, whatever. So all of the stuff that he says he does, and God working through him, God works through all type of people. But that doesn't mean that I have to continually be dispensing my resources in order to keep that going. You understand what I'm saying? In other words, Landon doesn't live with me, right? So a 1-off, 2-off, do something for him, it's not that big of a deal. My cousin, when we go back to the house, if he's ready to go lay down, now he's dealing with the frustration of being locked out the house or whatever. That's going to traumatize. That's going to whatever. If this situation is going to, if the fruit that he wants to, this is my point. If the fruit that he wants to bear is not the fruit that I as Matthew for that apartment, if the fruit that he wants to bear is not the type of fruit that I need, I don't need to continue to invest in that because it's not an investment. You see what I'm saying? That's my point. My point is it's not an investment. It's not an investment. Him doing what he's doing, I can name 5 other people that I know where it's the same type of thing. Go do what you're gonna do. I don't have any argument about that. Now, here's the point. The point is this. Let's say that my cousin, let's say even during the 3 weeks of you being here. Let's say during the 3 weeks of you being here. Let's say that he was like, hey, let me borrow the key to the van. And he messed around and got my van running where right now I could start it up and it doesn't die, alternator and all that other stuff. And I'm able to go do some stuff with the van. Let's say that he solved my van problem. I am going to be able to be so productive in what I'm doing that I can walk away from the house. I'll bring home some toilet paper. You see what I'm saying? I'm not tripping on, because he has advanced my productivity so much. Here's an example of you. I can turn on the microphone and turn on my recorder and I can talk to myself for 7 hours, right? But because you and me did that and captured it and it sounds good and I can see that advances, that you done took 50% of the podcast load, which is making something interesting to talk about. If you and me are interested enough, people are interested enough to listen. Period. I listen. That's what the news, the talk radio, all TV shows are people talking back and forth to each other. Conversations, scripted or not. You've advanced in a specific way the Matt Ellipsis agenda. If I had to deal with a dog, my girlfriend, she got 2 cats. I'm allergic to cats. But I'm willing to spend the rest of my life with this woman and them stupid cats.
You don't tell her that.
Yeah, I did say stupid cats. Yeah.
To her?
Of course.
Really?
Yeah.
And she still want to be with you. She must love her cats.
Of course she loves them.
No,
She didn't have. Listen, let me.
I'm gonna say a little secret. My wife.
Yeah.
This one right here.
Mm-hmm.
All day, every day, discipling her, doing all this other stuff. I had my puppy. She had made a joke about my puppy.
Yeah.
Some weed. And I looked at her. Just to look alone, she was like, "Oh my God, here it comes."
Yeah.
So I was like, "Would you play with the kids like that?" She was like, I said, "She my baby." It's like, they your baby, she my baby. Would you play with them like that? Would you play with them like that? Well, I wouldn't. I said, then don't play with her like that. I was like, I know that you joking.
Right.
But I said, the same way you look at them, that's how I look at her. She came out that room and she talked to the kids. She was like, listen, baby, I feel about y'all.
Yeah.
That's how you feel. Because I was.
Right. Sinead is the same way. She calls herself a cat mom. I'm with you. Yeah.
If you call them stupid,
oh man,
and she still want to be with you, no, she'll let them cats.
No, she does.
No, she don't.
No, I'll put it like this. It's the same thing that you interacted with. She interacts with me on. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that I get away with it when I say stupid cats or whatever else. And I know that sometimes I gotta say things like, hey, you know what? How's your cat doing? And when she sees moments where I'm petting the cats or whatever, that warms the cockles of her heart. You know what I'm saying? Like, but again, I made a choice, and when I make a choice, I accept the responsibility of my choices.
Because you made it.
Okay? So I made the choice to let my cousin live with me. My cousin living with me, it inhibits how much time I can spend with my father on the phone at my house. My father and me, we would talk in the house for like 7 hours straight. Okay? But because...
Like literally 7 hours?
You see what you and me did?
That's a podcast.
I know, and I capture audio all the time.
And you and your dad do like that?
Dude, where you think I got it from?
Well, you did say you talk.
Dude, I got a podcast called Rocoe Son that I'm not going to necessarily release until he dies. He got to be gone.
Why?
I've been capturing audio.
I said, why? Why?
Because three of the bullet points related to what I've got to do for my father and my mother, but is I am responsible for my branch of the legacy of my father. And when my father passes away, because when people are alive, it is very easy to not give people their flowers while they're alive. You see what I'm saying? So my father and me have developed a way to give each other our flowers while we're alive. And he's 68. And if I can get to my dad getting to 90, 95, of course I'm going to be, whatever. It'll be amazing. But there's a lot of stuff that I've recorded. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to go out to the public. But there's a lot of stuff that I was able to capture and record that is precious and the of the core of who my father is. That I got those nuggets. Nobody else, because of the position I'm in certain people, I got the nuggets. Lord, how did you make me so hot? Lord, I'll deal with anything. Dealing with my cousin is an offshoot of my relationship with my father. You see what I'm saying? I made. Let me just tell you this one little quick little thing that this little now. My father raised me. I am a very secure man. You know what I'm saying? And I think that part of my security, maybe 30% of it comes from directly my, who I am in Christ type stuff. You know what I'm saying? But the other 70%, I can really say, because I had my specific father, because I had my specific mother, because I had the schools that I went to and the military training, different people, friends I had, whatever, I've been able to cultivate an ability to not feel jealous of anybody, because when my life is amazing, in so many ways. It's just amazing. And that's why, as we talked about the regimen and what we about to do in terms of all that type of stuff, people around me recognize, oh snaps, let me stay attached and blah blah blah. But what I had to do is I had to recognize, I'm telling you, Triomnius, it wasn't until 2016 and 17 when with the Joseph situation as it was wrapping up. At that point, I had finally got my 4-year degree, my bachelor degree in when people are around you and what insecurities they deal with. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't realize that because of the way that I am, there are certain people that gravitate, attract to me and whatever else. And they have certain insecurities. When I meet people that are not insecure, like for you, you're not a person that I would look at as insecure. You remember Posse? Posse, I did not realize until way later the specific insecurities that he had and how it manifested to sabotage what my certain things that we were supposed to build together. You see what I'm saying? So, and spending time with my father helped me realize, oh my God, Lord, you let me even see some of the insecurities in my father that I see the puzzle pieces, how it fits. And when things that are a spiritual concept like faith, when they are made real in your hand, like an actual video, blah, 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 you got it for life. You know what I'm saying? And it's not just going to be changed like that. You see what I'm saying? So now I get it. I recognize, like, as we were talking the other day about when Joseph, the way his verse was and the way my verse was, you know what I'm saying? It's like you could tell that's coming from insecurity. You see what I'm saying? But what's his name? Snoop Dogg, him saying, I'm not going to be on the track with Eminem. That's a demonstration of insecurity a little bit. You see what I'm saying?
Why he say he wasn't gonna be on the track?
Well, because and I'm not getting the full context of it out, but because I'm just making a small bullet point. But Eminem, when he gets on the track, he snaps. He be snapping off. So why would you do that to yourself?
For that money.
Well, possibly, but but
Snoop saying he been embarrass me.
And theoretically, and people, because people, right, but to a degree, it is a insecurity, and then later on, Eminem, in a whole nother context, same thing, demonstrated insecurity, sitting out there, the stuff that he was talking about, he was demonstrating his insecurities, like, where he was attacking. I'm like, oh my God, thank you, Lord, because some of these insecurities, they are rooted in, they're rooted in lack of the Father's guidance in their life. And the idea of training a child up in the way they go, they won't depart from it. Tiger Woods, whatever insecurities Tiger Woods has, they are not the insecurities that affect that specific game with, that made him be successful or whatever. So if your insecurities are going to directly block you from doing God's will for your life, then you really got to attack that insecurity. But if some of your insecurities are not going to stop you from doing God's will for your life, then you don't necessarily have to deal with it until it's time to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? So my point is that Cuzzo has been a blockade or an inhibitor or he's been a frustration in what I'm trying to do in terms of God's will for my life. Unofficially, ever since he showed up. But officially, late May, early June. So officially meaning that that him remaining from May up until August is a demonstration of me demonstrating love for my own edification. Just like if we jogging and we say, you know what, man, we just did 5 miles. You know what? Let's see. We still got a couple more hours, man. Let's see if we could do another 5 miles. That's personal achievement, personal whatever. I did that and I accomplished it. I'm happy about it. If Cuzzo, the fruit of Cuzzo's life is overabundant, that if he lived upstairs and we saw each other, bikes still around, that's all that needs to happen. I don't need to be the underwriter undergirding his ministry. That ministry is not a ministry that I agree with. That I agree with as part of the branding of, Mad Ellipsis. That's not what comes from me. That's not fruit from my tree. His tree and my tree, we can coexist in the same town. We just can't coexist in the same ground, that whatever, because my tree, I got some expansion to do and all that. Listen, again, now Cuzzo, Triomnius, I'm telling you, now listen, if I own the building, let's say all this whole building was mine, that's a different story. Because I did it. Listen, I had one of the young people that I used to do children's church for. I let him live at my place. This dude went from just needing a place to get off the street to moving his girlfriend in to moving in 3 pit bulls and was breeding pit bulls in my building. So I mean, that's how people take advantage of me, because I do that. And listen, like I said, if Mr. Pitbull Man, Joseph Wells, if Cuzzo, if the fruit that's coming from what we're doing, if it's specifically helping me get what I got to get done for my life, like I said, I'll tolerate all type of bull crap, man. I will tolerate whatever. You know what I'm saying? I tolerate uncomfortableness because I made the decision. I stand by my decisions. You know what I'm saying? I'll stand and take accountability, even when that was Cuzzo's decision to bring that dude over there. Why am I taking the dude to Sparta? That was Cuzzo's decision. I'm taking responsibility for decisions that I ain't even I'm taking responsibility for decisions that I didn't even make because I'm so responsible or whatever. You see what I'm saying? So, I'm still anxiously wanting to hear, what the heck, man?
What?
Nah, the police, I'll listen to any, and I want, if Cuzzo, again, all those people that he's met, live with them, and let them accept the fruit of what you're doing. But I don't have fruit where it's argumentative with me about what it is. You know what I'm saying? The fig tree, if you with me, if you living with me or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I can tolerate whatever. But like I said, now listen, bullet point 1, if Cuzzo helped me bring my van out there, Cuzzo would not even lift a finger to help me bring my van out to out here. Now both of us got nothing. Come on, man. You can't even help me move my van. You can't even help me move my van from Racine. You see what I'm saying? Like if I had, the time that I asked him, you and me hadn't reconnected yet. But if I had known that, I would have said, man, yo. And then I could have just came out to Kenosha and you could have helped me bring my van out here. You see what I'm saying? And that was March. So you was out in Kenosha at that time, right? You see what I'm saying? That's my point. My point is that my interactions, the timing of my interaction with you would have been sooner if he wasn't around. Because I'm not moving forward, you know what I'm saying, with what we doing. But I'm moving forward. Listen, Landon, I met his grandfather several years back. His grandfather is the mayor of one of the towns over there, right? So it's a delight to meet. I'm not, you know what I'm saying, but being connected with his father, there's certain things are worth it, certain things are not. And, I got to weigh the cost of all that, and I have. I've paid a heavier price for him being around than I would have if I was by myself. I mean, just the whole idea of being able to be around the house naked versus not. Even just that. Doggone it. Leaving the door unlocked. You know what I'm saying? The reason why I will sometimes leave the door unlocked is because I'm testing the area too. Right now, I need to lock my doors because a professed, not that Landon's a bad guy, but the other dude lived right across the street and he doesn't look, oh wow, what are you doing to me, Cuzzo? Why are you bringing these strangers in the house that you meet? And screwing up my Eden. You're screwing up my Garden of Eden with your decisions. You don't have to pay the cost if everything gets messed up. He don't have to pay that cost. I do. Which is why Adam, come on, what are you doing? Oh, man. Okay, that's nice of you. You over, this dude is sitting in the van because his car is dead and you're playing pool and what are you doing? If God is doing something through you, cool. God's doing something through everybody. Donald Trump, Joe Biden, this person. That doesn't mean that I got to be the one, making it work for him. It's like, dude, come on, man. You bringing more problems to my scenario. Just that drive out there in Tomabac, that takes away a few pennies or a few dollars of gas to go out there to Kenosha. You see what I'm saying? I'm not functioning off of no bunch of money. Again, Lord says, hey, I want you to keep Nathan there. my bank account is going to reflect that. It's not just going to be based on my tolerance. The resources follow in the military and in God, where God guides people by whatever. Like you said, Matt, you was like, you willing to help me out of your stuff. You ain't even got that much. But you see that we multiplied some stuff so far. You see what I'm saying? In other words, I'm willing to place I'm always willing to invest and sow, but there has to be reaping. We can't even move forward. I've had to sit in this house and not go nowhere because I ain't got no gas or whatever. You know the struggle. And Cuzzo, you don't do nothing to help out? There's nothing you can do over all of these months? And you see me sitting over here? And I gotta fight you about... Do what you want to do. Fight for the ministry that God gave you. But please, you're a grown man. I'm not gonna be giving you, or we're not gonna be arguing like that. If that's the ministry that God gave you, then you take your own money, your own substance, be responsible for it. Don't make other people responsible for the ministry God gave you. I'm responsible for the ministry God gave me. I'm willing to eat nothing for a couple of days in order to make sure that I got beautiful vocals for a specific song. And he's not willing to help me move my car for 3 hours, and you've been in for 10 months? You meet somebody today and you bring in 2 people. What are you doing? And then you willing to be screaming at me in my place in the middle of the night? What? Come on, Cuzzo, this is not. Again, I'll deal with this stuff if the fruit of what is being manifested, man, if it's working out, hey man, I fixed your van. Whoa, okay, we gonna make some, you know what I'm saying? Hey,
you can stay.
Look, no, it ain't even gonna be. I ain't even gonna say that, but yeah, you know what I'm saying? Hey, hey, Matt. I don't know how much the rent is, but man, look, check this out. I don't know. I went and did my stimulus. I went and did my So here go, $500 because I don't feel like being responsible, man. So look, here go $500. Can that, let me get like 8 months being here because I love it. You ain't gonna have no argument out of me. None. You ain't gonna have no argument out of me. Because ultimately, I do look at God as the resource. And there's earthen treasure in there's treasure in earthen vessels. But if you can walk past my van that's broke down, walk past Landon after you done bummed a bunch of cigarettes off of him all day. You see what I'm saying? If you can walk past him struggling, then how spirit-led are you? Just based on that. So answer me that. Triomnius. How do you walk past Landon?
Listen, my whole point with you was pray and ask the Lord. If he leaves it up to you, it's your decision.
Right, that's where it's at. That was something that wasn't at the moment praying as a, but before I get up, all of this stuff. I don't say it's all scripted, but there is a level of I'm living out the fruit of my decisions and my commitment to the Lord on different things. So I'm just So what I'm about to do is, if you don't mind, just wait here, cause I don't even want to unlock the door. You know what I'm saying? I want to solidify with him right here as the have our discussion and see how it goes or whatever, so that way it's there. You know what I'm saying? And so give me a few minutes. Are you locking me out here? Come on, cuz you saw me drive up. Come on, man. You saw me drive up. And so come on, man.
I just forgot to open.
No, come on, Cuzzo. Stop being absent-minded, man. Come on, man.
What do you mean?
Come on, man. Come on. You locked this, so I gotta unlock this.
No, I'm right here.
Right, but didn't you see me drive up? I saw you stand up. You keep this. Do you lock this so that? No, come on, Cuzzo.
Trying to do that.
No, I come on, Cuzzo. Don't
Why
stop
do you
being.
think I was trying to lock the door?
Cuzzo.
I was just locking myself in.
No, but Cuzzo, you saw me drive up, so at that point, unlock.
That wasn't no disrespect.
Cuzzo, I know it's locked. Come on, Cuzzo.
Why is that locked?
Cuzzo, you don't understand?
I don't understand it was a lie. What I do wrong for the door to be locked, but I wasn't doing that to get back at you. I was just laughing. I was like actually just woke up. I was sleeping. I was being locked out. That wasn't the intent. You take it that way, it's easy to be offended. You take it that way, but that wasn't the intent. It's a misunderstanding of something. It's the honest opinion. The honest truth. I always locked the door anyway when everyone's inside. I was just right here, and I just wanted to feel slightly safe. That's all. It wasn't anything weird. No, I just wanted to the aggression. What's all the score? I don't get it. Good things I try to do aren't sour. I don't understand. Hallelujah. Father, I just thank you for your goodness. I thank you for your kindness. I thank you for what you're doing, Lord. Lord, if anything I've done that you know is evil, or for evil intent, or for evil for every way. But if you know that this is harassment by other spirits that doesn't represent you, Father, have your way. You know why I came here, Father. You know my heart. You will show yourself strong. Thank you for your goodness. No weapon formed against anyone will prosper. But you know those who are called by your name.
bless those who curse me. I bless those who despite me. Evil reports for other reasons. You know what you're doing, God. God bless what you're up to. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
The red container with the two bags of your clothes. Do you intend to take those clothes with you whenever you're leaving? So it needs to be clean.
Gonna wash it.
So this is
Process.
basically dirty clothes.
Part of the process, yeah.
Do you need the container too, or just the bags? Because I mean, I can part with the container, you know.
Yeah.
And then, the organ. Are you?
Platform right there. Make sure I saw that platform. I can go over there, and then there's always a number of calls that I can pick it up in the space. Like there's a couch in another neighbor's house.
So I mean, like, is there a certain day that they're gonna come and pick it up?
You got a call, and then you just put in. They'll pick it up in their own time. Don't pick up phone calls.
So in essence, that is something that I'm just gonna have to work it out.
I can move this like there's three of us at some point. He said I was ready at the time. We can go to the platform over there. Just call the number.
The clothes and stuff like that in the closet, and blanket and stuff like that, are any of those things that maybe that I'd be able to have back? Like, I know one of the jackets or whatever, what I'm saying, like, oh, you're right. So yeah, I mean, in that I mean, so in other words, you say it's already set up for. So in other words, if we
Jackets to the right of yours.
so if we grab all of this stuff and put it in the trunk, and drove to wherever, you would not have anything that you'd be like, oh man, I left this, oh man, I left that. It would be pretty much.
For the most part.
Um, are you willing um, to uh, allow me to take you to a homeless shelter, or are you in a position where somebody is able to come in and then you guys go off together? What's out of those two options, which one seems like it's more of a realistic thing?
Option two, calling somebody.
So I mean, like if we um, is it something that if we, I mean, I know it might be 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, whatever. Is it something that on Friday,
What's today?
today it's Friday, something that later today or whatever, is it something that could happen this morning, like within the next 6-7 hours or whatever? Or is it something that would, you know, we'd have to be patient until Sunday or maybe Monday or Tuesday next week or whatever?
22nd.
So 22nd, which is Sunday,
22nd, Sunday, Monday. Give me some time. Because that's still something thinking about doing. Those this weekend. I'm trying
because
to work that out now. So this guy wants me to do some cement for on Monday. So we're talking about hanging up the next meeting.
because I guess for
And then Priscilla getting stuff on. Well, you don't have to license. That's okay.
um well that's what I'm thinking, like um the guy, if we went out to Racine to go grab the license, Monday, Friday afternoon or whatever.
Because I'm making some. I mean, Monday I'm making some money. Because I can tell money put up the whole.
Well, I
Put
mean,
myself in a
but
hotel Monday. So
but
between now and then,
in essence, Toma for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, or whatever, Toma is home for you, at least, for the next 4 days at minimum,
transition, yeah. That's all this weekend anyway.
because I'm would it be um would it be offensive if during at some point today we talked to your mother or somebody who has a few dollars, that they can set it up so that, you know
We can talk inside. We can talk right here. So like all this is all outside. I don't know why. We can just talk right here.
would it be
You're right here.
would it be offensive to you if
Make some
we
phone calls.
would it be offensive to you if we uh, uh, figured out, whether it's family or
I'll
whoever,
figure it out. I just
to
need some time to make phone calls.
meaning that,
Yeah.
do you need to borrow my phone to do it, or do you need to just be under a Wi-Fi
Internet,
connection?
Wi-Fi. So I can, yeah.
So like if we went over to the library, like he's been, saying, like the Wi-Fi is
Yeah, I know. I know
all
where to
night or
get
whatever.
Wi-Fi too. Yeah, I know where to get how you get Wi-Fi. I use it to communicate with people anyway. So that's all it is. And that's why I've been, gauging, going out anyway to stay in contact with people and waiting to hear back from the people who are, want to, talk to them, pick me up already.
giving myself about 4 or 5 hours to, you know, to let the situation breathe, you know, and you know what I'm saying, just, you know, I just need to let the situation breathe a little bit. Alright, where can I? Oh. Did you eat? You hungry? You are hungry? Yeah, man, let's oh man. You know what? We should go to the other one, because they got a spot to sit inside, but we can sit in the van. We can heat up our stuff in there and sit in the car. You need to let the situation breathe for a couple hours, man, and because I don't want to. The thing I don't want to do is back up 2 steps. I don't want to back up 2 steps. You know, when you got a good step, you know what I'm saying? When you let him feel entitled to the I let him feel entitled, and that's a strategy that's a strategy that I think God showed me about himself to us, that he's so good to us that we can feel entitled to his goodness when, you know, it's undeserved. It's not something that, you know, he's not obligated to do whatever. You know what I'm saying? So you can't pressure. If somebody's obligated, then you could put the pressure on them. If somebody has a sense of obligation, then you could put the pressure on them. You know, and you can sway lots of people based on a sense of obligation. And I did this with Valerie. It was a long-term thing, and that was, you can feel like you're entitled to my productivity, my whatever, but every day it's a choice for us to be together. You could choose today, you could choose tomorrow that, you know, you don't want to be here anymore, and I have to respect that choice. Just because we married doesn't mean that you're obligated to have sex with me just because we married. It would be nice, but that doesn't mean the obligation is there. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, you know, every day we got, if that's what you want, then every day you wake up and you know, you work towards it, work with it, whatever. Let me see. But yeah, I mean, there is a definite feeling that from him, and he has expressed it to my father, that it's a blessing for you to be a blessing to me. That's the way he explained it to my father about, you know, when my father wanted, you know, give him some money or whatever. And he's also given me versions of that. And that's okay. You know what I'm saying? If I accept that as my, you know, reality or my commitment, hey, you know, then I'll do that. But I'm currently in this moment. That's not my reality. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
This is library?
yeah, it's not. Is it you got signal?
No, I was looking like, you look familiar. It's a different angle. I'm not normally this angle.
Yeah. Is your signal working?
Yeah.
So all day you putting hearts and stuff like that in in text messages?
No.
Oh God. Women love text messages apparently. But
I appreciate you.
oh yeah, man, we oh, but this was gonna tell you that this what God was showing me about certain seasons. This season, it appears to me, you and me are sharing in the oh, and you know what? I do have a chair and a table in the back.
What?
You know, so if you want to sit under the, you know, Yeah, so I could, so if you want to sit over there under the light with the,
I can see.
okay, or if if that's
I
helpful.
don't need that.
But back, let me set the scene. I and many of my friends, we were all 17, 18, 19 years old. And so we got a little piece of money in our pocket, nothing more than about $500-$600 per month, because all the rest of the expenses are paid.
I'm in the military.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm living in the barracks, and you go to the chow hall, get your food, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So the food card is my chow hall. You know what I'm saying? The little bit of money that I got from the VA, $144, turned into $200 something or whatever. It ain't that much money. But what you're doing is you're on God's economy, you're on the military economy, and all you got to do is focus on doing your job, don't get into no trouble, and blah blah blah. And in those experiences, you're in class, you're learning stuff. Some of it is like akin to college. Some of it is akin to working in like a hospital, and everybody's young and virile and can go to the gift shop in the hospital. Everybody is, everybody you see is all the same, because y'all got some type of commonality. Everybody's wearing the same hats or boots or whatever. So what we're doing is, to me, it feels like that. It feels like you and me specifically. It is we're assigned to a certain military base or certain military unit or whatever, and then we have some objectives that we got to accomplish, and we're not young dudes like 18, 19 or whatever, but we're not old dudes that are in their 60s where it's retirement. It is, all right, you're on a new assignment, or you're continuing your assignment, your vocation in the military. Now we're going to be setting up, boom, 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 like we was talking about the other day or whatever. So that's what we're responsible for birthing. You know what I'm saying? Like that post, when we was driving past that post, there was at one point a William and a Matthew who was up at 3:30 in the morning eating some chicken and noodles and stuff like that before that post was there, and the work that they had to do gradually birthed the post, and then the next level, and the next, you know what I'm saying? So it's like what we're doing is, it's in the making of what we're doing. It's like, this is exciting. I can see it work out or whatever. And because we're entrusted, yeah, we got some time deadlines or whatever, but it's not a regimented thing where we might see other people, but it's like, yep, I remember them days. But I ain't got to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I get to choose, so, and it's like, when you got an A team, B.A. Baracus, Face, and Murdoch and Hannibal, when you got a good team, that is a representation of the anointing. And so we get to choose our team members. You see what I'm saying? Like with you and me, this is the same thing me and Joseph did. Me and Joseph did this exact same type of thing. Me and Eldridge did this exact same thing. Me and Jerome, we did this exact. So these exact same things, to me, that is the 2x2 ministry dynamic. You see what I'm saying? And so I love building the 2x2 ministry thing, because the 2x2, when you and me, when we got our signal straight and our marching orders, plans, and whatever, it works out well. Cuzzo, he was in the same scenario, the 2x2 ministry or whatever, but I can't. Matthew Walker, this is what I do every year. Every year, I evaluate every relationship that I'm in, even ones that I ain't talked to people or whatever for a while. And I evaluate, and I don't necessarily say, hey, all right, this is our evaluation. You see what I'm saying? But if I can head off a problem before we get to the 1 year mark, I'm going to do that if I can. And today's misstep with my cousin is, he told me the 22nd, and what he just told me just now, is basically he needs until Sunday, Monday, and I need to decide or figure out what's the best way to work this out so that there's minimum collateral damage. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to have bad breakups that whatever. He enticed me by saying, I'm supposed to be making some money on Monday.
That's true.
So I might be able to have some money so we can drive down to, I can put money in your pocket for whatever. But
man, he said he was going to verify with his father whether or not I could go.
Oh, you can go to what?
To that job that they're doing. It's laying concrete.
So in other words, you down for that?
What?
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
To make some money. We just talked about that. Me and you talked about that.
Oh,
I
see,
told
now
you
that's
I
a
was
perspective.
Dollar Tree.
No, but that's a perspective I needed.
I just told you that though.
I know you told me that, but I didn't know I didn't know that because you know what? Because I put like this. I'm not trying to ruin a blessing, trying to get rid of a situation. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I also don't want to spend this weekend. This weekend is so. This is how important this weekend is. This is the high stakes of this weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. This is the week going into my divorce. I didn't need what happened yesterday. I didn't need that to happen. That was completely bogus. And this weekend, I really don't want him around at all, because I need to be able to focus on what I gotta write, what I gotta type up. And if I'm gonna take a break from what I'm doing, I don't want it to be dealing with him. I want it to be, if it's gonna be dealing with you or dealing with my girlfriend or dealing with, my dad, like this is too high pressure of a weekend.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's why if it worked out for me to ride out to Kenosha and stuff like that on Friday, later on today, I want to do that, but even just driving Landon out there and I believe that my father will hook me up with a few dollars or whatever, which will be nice. And that's what I got to think about, because I just want to make it so that whatever he's going to do for Monday, Tuesday, or whatever next week, this weekend, I would rather not deal with, not this weekend. I can't deal with my cousin stuff this weekend. I can't deal with him back and forth or interacting with him. I just can't. I can't, not if I'm going to be effective in what I gotta write to the thing. I need this situation. I should have solved it. I should have solved it in early August, but they surprised me with a they surprised me with that hearing on the 5th. It was a surprise, and so I got too much. It's too much. The stakes are just too high for me personally, and it makes me desire to say to my dad, hey, if I can borrow a couple $100 to put him in a hotel just so that he's away from me so I can focus, I'd appreciate it. And my father would love giving me the few dollars to do that. And working that out, I think that's what I want to wager to see if that's even a good move, because my father, he's just sitting there wanting to help out. He's ready to come over here and lie and put him in a shelter and all this other stuff, and but basically Cuzzo needs to, whatever his Toma connections are, I don't want to ruin this stuff. I just don't want to. I don't want for my Cuzzo. I don't need him to be comfortable with me no more, because can I tell you something that he just did? Mm-hmm. Now, when we drove up with your eyeballs, when we drove up, right, I left the light on. I usually leave the light on when I'm leaving out in the middle of the night, because I like to, see when I get back.
I thought you had the light on.
I always do. Yeah, that's how I do it. And what that should signify to anybody is Matt is coming back. When I got the light on, that means I'm coming back. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying that to whoever. That's my non-verbal communication. I'm coming back. So when I come back and the light is off, it pisses me off, because I turned the light on so that I could see. You see what I'm saying? Because Cuzzo be locking stuff, right? I leave it unlocked for him, so you don't even have to see because to unlock. Now here's what he did. Now, so he's locked out the house, and so he's sitting right there. So then he locks the screen door. Now, when we pulled up, didn't you see that he saw us pull up?
Yeah.
Exactly. So then he waits until I pull the handle on the screen door.
I saw you do that. I couldn't hear what you were saying, but I saw you a little perturbed, a little upset.
Because he was trying to get a rise out of me. That's what, what I'm saying? He's been begging for me to snap off on him so that he can feel good, like I got him to snap on me. But I haven't done it. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And it's like, when he locked that door, that is a passive-aggressive act of... you did that on purpose. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? You saw me drive up, and you moved around. You can't even fake like, oh, I was sleeping. Now, if you high, that's one thing. But you are a functional drunk, functional high person. You know what you did. You're trying to make... What's all this aggression? Ugh. So, the thing about it is that that move right there is more demonstrative of his willingness to participate in being combative with me. You see what I'm saying? It's like girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife. The commitment. I gotta stand up for myself about this. I gotta fight about this. I need you to use a match when you in the toilet. You know what I'm saying? Come on, Matt. We gotta have these back and forth. I don't gotta have a back and forth with him about the door lock stuff. You did that because you knew it would piss me off. The reason why he locked doors is because I took away his key. You see what I'm saying? That's his way to get back at me. You're 10 months live with me. Either leave it alone and act like it didn't offend you that I took your key back from you, or get your own place. But don't be in the I'm gonna get back at you in different ways type of stuff. I don't got time. I don't have, the movement of the ranch dressing being in different. I'm like, oh. I looked check this out. This is before Cuzzo went to go play pool or go get drunk or whatever he did. While I am helping Lando jump his vehicle, because I had to drive my, you know what I'm saying? He's trying to jump his car off with mine, at, before I went to sleep. Before I went to go to sleep, Lando and all of them was outside, and they asked me to jump the car. So I drove my car on the hill and all that other stuff just to get close enough, use my jumper cables, and it wouldn't work out. But while I'm doing that, my Cuzzo is using some of my coffee mugs and bringing them coffee. And so then he takes some sugar, I guess off the desk, put it in the thing. So I see some sugar sitting on the, I'm like, dude, what are you doing with hospitality? Giving them coffee at my, what are you doing? What are you doing? I don't understand what's happening here. Why is it that you acting like you at a restaurant or something? What are you doing with these people that you just met today? And then it's just, I'm taking the dude to Sparta, and he's going to get drunk. And then he's like, I don't even understand what's wrong. Why did you lock the door? It's like, dude, it's not even worth. His soul hasn't prospered to the level of where it's worth it to even explain it. You see what I'm saying? It's worth it to talk about it because I experienced it, but it's not worth it to explain it to him because it ain't. He's not going to receive it as for what it really is. He's gonna receive it as fodder for being argumentative. You can't argue with, like I told him. I said, look, if you got the 2 containers that got your clothes in the house, and the 2 containers that got the container that got your clothes, if those 3 containers, does that complete everything that you need out of this place? And he said, yeah. So oh, Jesus. Man, are you telling me that application thing worked today? For your food card thing, that actually worked?
What do you mean?
I'm asking. It worked, like you saw everything went into the system. It worked.
Just a minute, yeah.
That is crazy.
Why is it?
It's dude, I'm listen. I ain't never lived like this with food stamps. I've never lived like this.
Yeah, me neither.
You know what I'm saying? So, I'm very happy that you and I can forge a trail related to ministry fulfillment of ministry stuff. And because we know how to talk about the stuff, it can be the good will not be evil spoken of without such audacity. You know what I'm saying? When you look at that video, you can't speak evil of that. You see what I'm saying? When Jesus healed the sick and raised the dead, you can speak evil of it if you want to, but you really expose yourself as a hater or a jealous person when you know what I'm saying, when you're speaking evil of that type of stuff. So I I don't. The types of the ministries that are out there, I have no desire to duplicate what they do. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm not into laying hands on people and them falling out, or laying hands on people and all that. I'm really not. That doesn't excite me as much as if Cuzzo today would have worked with Lando and got his battery going, even that right there would have been so honorable. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, the point is, God showed me at an early age, make full proof of your ministry. Not talk ministry. Where's the proof of it? That's the point. And what I tried to capture with you is the full proof of it, of your ministry. And I look for the proof of Cuzzo's ministry. Dude, I will certainly support any ministry that I see fruit out of, fruit that specifically goes with what I'm doing. I just figured out I cannot ingest cranberry apple, cranberry mango no more if I want to be broadcasting. Because I'm burping and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And my girls make
So was the mango or was the...
No, it's the cranberry.
Period?
It's the cranberry part of it.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like apple juice, you know, or when I go get my checkup, I can talk to them, do I have acid reflux? You see what I'm saying? That's what I got to, you know, or whatever. Now, and the thing about it is that, see, here's the thing. You talk to me in my 20s, just because I'm young, you don't get sick. But let's say I was a person that gets sick. In my 20s, I believed, oh, I got a headache? Oh, got to lay hands on myself. Hey, do me prayer. I'll pray for you. You pray for me. And you know, man, I'm not gonna be walking around sick. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm 45. Guess what? I'm gonna make my medical. I ain't never make no medical appointments when I was in my 20s. I'm so lucky that the military had enough care about me to keep my records up so that I could go to the VA about my back. Like, thank you, Lord, and thank you, thank you, Lord, for inspiring the certain people to make sure that they took care of me when I wasn't even smart enough to take care of myself on that stuff. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like I've never been in my cousin's shoes before, you know, but are you going to squander the opportunities that you got, or are you going to make full proof of your ministry? And Cuzzo has had time. The thing that's different about the situation with me here and the situation he had in other places is none of those other places had the credentials to disqualify his ministry.
Who?
My cousins.
Who didn't?
My cousin has not been in a situation prior to being with me
Okay.
to be with somebody to rubber stamp approval or disapproval of his ministry. Remember when the big old hand wrote on the wall, I've evaluated your kingdom? In Daniel, I wrote it, many tekel, right? And what my cousin did not anticipate is that part of the reason why he came under my watch care, if you want to call it, is to get a rubber stamp of approval on his ministry, believe it or not. Now, he don't believe that, and he don't have to. I don't care. But you see, you see, it's easy for me to rubber stamp stuff. You see what I'm saying? I got stamp, the little video that we just did, audio that we, you know what I'm saying? You didn't come here to get a rubber stamp per se for me, you know what I'm saying? But if both of us know what we're doing, I validate your ministry, you validate my ministry, we validate this ministry, that when people are validating each other, then it is, like when Donald Trump gave a certain person, Mitt Romney, his endorsement. The endorsement means something. TD Jakes giving the rubber stamp, launching people. So that stuff is part of the economy and the forward moving of the kingdom of God, and I recognize my part of that. When I recognize my part of that, and so I recognize that I have signature, I have a rubber stamp approval on certain ministries that God puts in my way or puts in my path. Not to launch them and act like I'm the end all be all, you know what I'm saying, like a covering or whatever. But in essence, that's what that place is for him for a little while. You're being covered. You see what I'm saying? And you understand that from the standpoint of you providing leadership for other people. But that's the point. It's like, now, here's the thing. He approached it with me as being with me like there might be a competition, or there might, because I told him this story. I said, look, and again, I told you about, I'm not insecure. So when I tell you something, Cuzzo, when I tell you a story to lift your spirits up, don't take the quarter that I gave you and turn it into $25 when it's only a quarter. Don't overvalue something. In other words, here's what I told him. I said, man, I said, it's tripped out, man. My father, all these years, he's never said to me the things he says about you. Like the elder brother of the prodigal son. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. The elder brother. When I did the song about the prodigal son or whatever, I focused on that part of it. But then, and I know that there's a couple scriptures later about the elder brother. Man, let me park here for a minute. You see what I'm saying? Where's the elder brother ministries that's been faithful for a long time? That's, those are the people who started at 6 o'clock in the morning, mad at the people who started at 3 o'clock in the afternoon that got off at 4 o'clock and got the same pay. You see what I'm saying? What about the elder brother ministers, the people who've been there, with God for a long time? And what's up? So I spent some time in that vein to understand elder brother ministry. There's prodigal son ministry. So when you see somebody who say, I love the Lord, and they got tattoos or whatever, in theory, not saying tattoos just specifically, but when you see somebody who has such a rough life, because they put themselves in the pig pen for their own decisions, and then they be like, Lord, you know what, I give you my life or whatever. We love that. That's prodigal son effect and prodigal son ministry stuff. But what about elder brother ministry? The people who the prodigal son can squander, but because the elder brother was there, the younger brother can come back in and get some more. When he done squandered all his inheritance before he even died, and then so every time he go into the refrigerator and get stuff, and every time he walk around and the fatted calf, wait a minute, hold on, that's part of my inheritance that you giving to him or whatever. Now there is stuff, there's shavings and shaving off and concepts all up in there that I love to explore and think about, because there's a line or a punchline or a way to talk about it. And I was able to see it in my own son, him being the elder brother and my daughter being the younger brother. Like a little bit before I saw Landon, I texted my son. I said, son, remember, man, you had 4 years where you had me to yourself. You didn't talk to me all week. You missed our appointments at 4 p.m. on both days, and you don't seem to care about it. I said, okay, you don't have to care about it. But think about your sister. She's only 6. When you were 6, you had 100% access to me. Give her the ability, do it for her sake. Give her the ability to have me. Now, the thing about it is the reason why he'll block it, A, is because he's enmeshed with his mother, and that's just whatever. But also, there's a secret jealousy of the younger, of the prodigal, of the younger. You see what I'm saying? The elder brother is sometimes secretly jealous of the youngest ones, because, it's just, and so then he would block her blessing. Jacob and Esau, different, and stuff like that. So I'm into that type of stuff. So I let him, I was like, hey, Cuzzo, just to make him feel good. His father just passed away. You see what I'm saying? I'm just trying to make you feel good. Don't take this like it's the gospel. I said, hey, boy, my father, he cussed me out, snap on me, and all this other stuff. But you come around, he's in a good mood and happy and all this other stuff. And he's saying all these complimentary words about you, and all of that. Wow. Do you know that to this day, meaning a couple of days ago, he mentioned that, Matthew, you're jealous of me, that your father cares about me in ways that he's never cared about you. Wow. Meaning that this is fig tree. You see what I'm saying? Wait a minute. Why is that? That's not what was planted. That's not what was planted. So if that's how you feel, Cuzzo, go ahead and feel that way. But I'm not that insecure that I didn't get validation from. You may have not got validation from your father, but I already got my validation from my father at different junctions, important junctions in my life or whatever.
Did he say why he think he came there?
Yeah, same stuff he told you, to be a bridge.
For you.
What you talking about, like?
Did he tell you why he came in the house for you? To live with you?
He has alluded in different ways to say, to pray for me, to, I had my brother and somebody else. I came at a significant time in their life while they were going through their divorce, and like as though a teacher knows when I go into a room where there's a bunch of children, the part of me that's been trained to be a teacher, that's gonna kick in, and y'all gonna see that for X amount of hours a day. He might have said it to me like that, but I have not seen any demonstrative, actual scenarios that materializes the ministry from the intangible faith, spirit realm, whatever, into the tangible. I was affected for the positive. There has been none of that. And I'm a person who is I inspect fruit. I know, a prayer, I do value prayer high. I value it so high that that there are a couple of people I will call to ask them to do a specific prayer about certain things that I know I don't have the faith for. And then in the process, I will call that person and tell them, hey, guess what? After we talked, and whether you prayed on the phone or prayed by yourself, the one time, I don't ask them to be praying about it every night. Call me before the Lord. No. One time. I'm not, one time. because my faith is that strong. But if my faith is not that strong, then I will say, look, I need you to help me lift this. You see what I'm saying? I'm not afraid to ask for prayer help. I'm not afraid to do that. Okay? I'm not afraid to do that. So my cousin, I don't need a 35-year-old man to cook for me, to pray for me, to do anything, to clean for me, to do womanly stuff for me, to do childish stuff for me. I don't need that. Here's what I need another hard leg man to help me do. Hey, help me move that couch around. Help me move that blah 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 around. Help me move my car. That's what I need. I don't need somebody to, oh Lord. Now listen, don't get me wrong. You've prayed for me. And I prayed for. Here's what I need. If the ministry to Matthew Walker is supposed to, here's what Cuzzo needs. Cuzzo needs, and this is November, December, up until now. Cuzzo needs a place to lay his bags down, a place to take a dump, a place to sleep. He doesn't need a lot to be satisfied and happy. He just does not need to be out in the rain, in the cold, in the wind, in the elements when it's time to go to sleep. He doesn't need to be sleeping under a bush. We all have driven past or walked past places where there's somebody laying on. I don't need that to be my cousin. That's what my cousin needs. Bare minimum. That's the at least rung, the minimum level for Cuzzo. He don't need me to lay hands on him every night and pray with him and all that. He just need the refrigerator works, the microwave works, the toilet work. Place don't need to be clean. Place don't need to be fancy. That's my ministry to him. And I completed that. You see what I'm saying? I did it. Now, from him to me, if there is ministry to me, then the thing about it is that I don't like punching my military cards, meaning that if you're going to bless me 10 times, let me not waste them 10 blessings. I'd rather go, I got this one line in my song. I don't go to the church with my hand out. Like we were talking about Travis. Travis is not afraid to go to the church with his hand out. And after he's received the handout, he doesn't feel obligated beyond a year, 2, 3, 4 years after to still be committed to that and be to try to be that for somebody else per se. I don't go to church with my hand out like that. I go with my church. Hey, I'm adding blessing. Hey, I'm dropping. Man, I used to drop cases of water off at the church out there in Chicago Heights. Now, that may not be something that they need. Okay, hey, I gave it to you. You give it away. You can do whatever. It don't, but they needed it. I saw them. You know what I'm saying? I felt, at least I perceived that. You know what I'm saying? So, but I couldn't do. They need money for this and that and other. But I had no money. But I did have the ability to get some water. So at least you get some bottled water while you dealing with your drama. At least. You know what I'm saying? Cause at that point I'm starting to, I was getting ready to phase it out of making $6,000 a month and getting into this whole walk of faith thing, that I started walking. You know what I'm saying? Where, I hate this personally. I do not enjoy having to be in any way, shape, form of manipulative in order to extract resources out of scenarios. Travis, one day he took me over there down the street. There's a military spot over here where if you're a veteran, they will put $20 or $25 in your pocket and then give you a $25 gift card or whatever. I was so broke. Now, Travis has no problem going over and utilizing that scenario, but that wasn't whatever. So he took me over there as a way to pay me back for something that, different things that I've done for him out of my whatever. Because I'm always trying to sow, because obviously when you give to the poor, you're lending to the Lord and he will repay. But the bottom line is that sometimes when you're giving to the poor, a savior's complex comes in. And I no longer have a savior complex like I did when I was in my 20s and maybe early 30s. Shoot. I'm writing about that stuff. I'm not living that no more. I can't, there's nothing that my cousin has done for me while here that has really legitimately helped me, even in the same measure as you have since we've been here. Just reconfiguring the room and certain song ideas that came out of things that we talked about. Man, that stuff is too priceless, man. That stuff is too priceless. That stuff is priceless. Shoot. Oh. Man, I need to be working on my emotions. And because I got to see them at 1 o'clock.